don't you know that I have a special treat for you? Don't you know? Oh, don't you know that I have a special treat for you? It's Bob, that's right. It's Bob, it's Bob. Tonight we have some Bob. Hi, welcome to tonight's show. This is a very special show. It's been a while since we've done a top 5. We used to do them here on the channel all the time. And, you know, things get put on a shelf or go by the wayside and whatnot. But it used to be great fun. We used to do it from time to time. Well, very recently, on one of my live streams, I think it was one of the Halloween 31 days of Halloween streams, which I still have to clip, whatever. Ugh, such a chore. When something you love becomes a chore, that's not a good thing. You should do it because you love it. In any case, somebody made mention, said, I loved that threequel episode you did. We did top 5 horror threequels, and that was with Bob, who, Bob would come through, Bob Rose would come through every once in a while and do a show with me, and we always had good fun. In any case, somebody made a request for horror Fourquels, and specifically that. And so I went to Bob. I said, Bob, we gotta reconvene for a horror Fourquels show. And Bob agreed. So he's here with us tonight, and I've made a lot of fanfare. So I'm going to bring him out of the digital green room. I told him to hold his breath until I brought him out. So he's been holding his breath for 2 minutes and 11 seconds, which is very impressive because I could not hold my breath for 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Let me bring him out now because he's now been holding his breath for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. There he is. Oh,
finally.
Hey, Bob.
Long time. When was the last time I was on the channel?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to have lots of people on the channel, and it just sort of stopped after a while. And I've been meaning to have people on the channel again. And Nate, I was talking to Nate about doing some stuff, and I was talking to you, me, Nate, and Mike, like the friggin' Filmtastic 4 getting back together for some stuff in the future, hopefully.
Sure. We did the Batman, right?
Was the Batman the very last thing? No.
I remember doing the Batman the most, if that matters. But
what Bob is referring to is Bob and I, despite Bob not having been on the show in a very long time, years long since Bob's been on the show. That's not true. You did the My Shadow thing, but that's
that counts.
That was still over a year ago. So it's been a little while.
That was 2024, right?
That was 2023.
It's all been a blur.
It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since you've been on the show.
Right.
I think. Yeah. In any case, suffice to say, Bob and I are constantly in conversation. We talk all the time via Facebook, Messenger, movies we watch. We're always talking. And in one of these like bouts of talking, we got into this really deep philosophical conversation about Batman and Superman, right? Like it was just like all that stuff. And I think I even rewatched the movies as we were having this discussion. I might have.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
I
can't remember either. But it was such a interesting conversation that I was able to excise it from our Facebook Messenger chat into it was like 3 hours of conversation through voice memos.
Some friends actually listened to it. I had friends who listened to the whole thing. And they told me it was mostly legible. Like you could understand who was talking about what when. So
I'm curious. I'm gonna see how many views it has. This was a long
time ago. I'm gonna guess 167. How's that?
So it's called I titled it Batman Forever, like semicolon forever. It's Batman Forever, because that was the main topic of conversation, which
right.
like Bob and I have probably obsessively spoken about Batman Forever and maybe Batman and Robin. Like, I mean, like an unhealthy amount for the third movie in a disjointed Warner Brothers franchise.
It's like half discussion, half argument.
Yeah. Yes. There
Yes.
was some both. So that was. It says YouTube is telling me that was over 2 years ago, and there's 159 views on it.
I wasn't that far off.
It was pretty impressive. I'm actually pasting it here in the chat. So if anybody wants to spend 3
hours,
3 hours and 36 minutes.
I think that the thing that's interesting about it is it's like there's like a lot of obviously DC fandoms going through a war currently.
Right.
And I think the two of us are very much we're very neutral. If you want to hear two very neutral voices,
yes,
who both like enjoy Zack Snyder but can enjoy other things,
yes,
that's what that is, if anything.
And before we begin, I need to make mention that I just watched Zack Snyder's Legends of the Guardians, the Owl movie, and it was tremendous. Like tremendous. Like
I saw it in theaters.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Oh my god.
Because you gotta remember back when that came out,
I'm like jealous.
Before Zack Snyder was kind of like the guy, like, you know, this controversial figure, I was following him as a filmmaker. You know, he was the guy who made Dawn of the Dead. He was the guy who made 300. He was the guy who made Watchmen.
I mean, I feel like he was still controversial back for 300, though.
Not like he is now. Not until I like. There's two different levels of controversy, and I think the DCEU is when he. I mean, you can't. It's not an argument. He's more controversial with the DC movies than anything.
Sure.
But yes, there was criticisms thrown at him for those, but I was following him as a name filmmaker. I was like, Zack Snyder directed this Owl movie? All right. I used to go see everything back then. So I would just see even kids' movies and stuff. I don't do that now, but yeah, it's a beautiful movie. You know, I think it could really be shorter. Good. I think it could be shorter.
I don't know, man. It's like 100 and it's like 90 minutes.
Is it 90 minutes? I remember
Something
2 hours.
No, it's not 2. Definitely not 2 hours. Maybe it's 100 minutes at most. But let me tell you, this is like Zack Snyder was like, fuck it. I'm going to make Star Wars if it met Lord of the Rings, but with owls. And that's pretty much what he did. And yeah.
Interesting enough, Zack Snyder has never made it to a Fourquel.
He almost
did. He's never made a fourth movie in a franchise.
That's true. And that's why we're actually here.
He almost did, but he didn't. That's why everybody's mad is he didn't get to 4. He got to only 3.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And he's ultimately frustrated that he didn't get to do his third.
Technically speaking, he had intention with both of his Netflix franchises to get way past 4. The intention was, well, it didn't. That didn't go well.
Do it.
That didn't go well.
WS is here, and he says, "I loved Watchmen. I used to love 300 until my wife said the show is beefcakes and underwear. It is. It is very beefy. Very beefy.
And a lot of people have pointed out some problematic stuff with it, but I love Watchmen, so I know Jeff does too. 300's, you know, okay, very controversial opinion, Jeff.
Yes,
I love 300 Rise of an Empire way more than 300.
That's a very controversial opinion.
You know why?
I would fight you. I would fight you in the ring over that, but that's okay.
No, I think I win because I think that if you actually watch them, the main character is such a flawed, normal guy, and the whole movie is a sidequel to 300, which is like a movie about essentially kind of flat warrior characters. Like Leonidas is not that interesting to me. But I'm not going for the character. Like that is like that's why it's a better movie. But nobody's gonna ever give it the time. I saw.
This is why I disagree with you. This is why I hardcore disagree with what you're saying, because I think the point of 300 is not for the depth of the characters, and therefore
his 300 is. Then they made a sequel that actually was a movie. The sequel actually is a real movie about a real flawed guy who's like, we're not fucking. That's why I love that movie. Is like, we're not Spartans. We're just like normal ass soldiers
It's
trying to fight this
actually
off.
it's a sequel, prequel, and sidequel.
It's a sidequel, yeah.
Which I do respect it for.
It's
I'm
happening
not
simultaneously.
but it also happened before and after. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
All things above. I kind of wish more movies did that. I think that's a really interesting idea. Mushroom.
There's other examples of that. I just don't have them on hand, but I
would love to hear them. Winston Smith says, WS says, loved Watchmen, used to love 300. Yeah, sorry, your same comment. My bad. Yeah, Winston agrees with me. 300 is better. It is. It's just a.
Oh yeah, everyone's gonna disagree with me.
Yes,
I know I'm right, but no one's ever gonna give the time.
No, foregone conclusion.
No,
this is just a preview.
The world is wrong on this one. I know that. Yeah, yeah.
But
300 is not a very good movie. It's a great visual masterpiece.
All right, before we begin, what? Here's one last litmus test for Bob. Bob, what do you think of the movie Babies Day Out?
I mean, it's. Is it great? No. Do I love it? Yes.
Correct answer.
Yeah.
Correct answer. Okay.
It's like
close enough.
If Baby's Day Out was made 40 years prior to when it was released and it was in black and white, it would work so much better. That's the problem with Baby's Day Out is it happened in the 90s and not in like the 40s or 50s. If it was then it would have worked.
Yeah. I mean, you would imagine
it's literally
a vehicle for the Three Stooges. Yeah.
It's only bad by way of what they tried to do in the 90s. And as a little kid, I actually thought it was genius because it was like, what if it was Home Alone, but you didn't have any characters? It was just a baby and these three idiots. It was like Three Ninjas, right?
The babies in the woo woo and the ha ha.
Right. The three bad guys and Three Ninjas. It's not that much different than that.
Very similar. I really and I truly love the Three Ninjas for that reason.
Sure.
I've said this before on the channel. I'm going to say it one more time. Okay. One more time. I'm going to say this. The 90s movies, 90s kids movies can be divided up into four main categories that overlap. And obviously this isn't a rule of thumb to every single thing. 90s movies were either about sports teams, animals, kids versus adults, or martial arts. And then if you take each one of those categories, you can crossbreed them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just add take two.
Like Mighty Ducks.
Three.
Right, sometimes three. Mighty Ducks, Three Ninjas, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It all crisscrosses over. So again, that's sports, animals, martial arts, kids versus adults. Those were like the four main pillars of kids movies in the 90s. I don't know if there's
call it an age war.
Yeah, age
war.
An age war. I like that best.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we here to do now that we've warmed up a little bit? Because it has been 2 years since Bob and I. Actually, it's been longer than 2 years since Bob and I have verbally jousted publicly live streaming.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, because I can't remember the last time I was normally on outside of your film.
It was a long time ago. It was a long time.
Yeah.
But the point being is that we're now warmed up. We're lubricated. By the way, Bob and I met on a podcast, blind podcast date. Actually, that's how we met. We met 5 years ago on a podcast, audio podcast too. There was no whatever. That's for no one.
Dunstan Checks In, right?
For Dunstan Checks In,
which is a 90s animal movie.
Yes, with kids versus adults.
Right. Yes. There you go.
There you go. So this is the way this is going to work. The way we've done this in the past, and what makes this super fun is we kind of play horse a little bit in the sense that we each pick a top five. We each pick 5 movies. We have not told. I don't know what his top 5 is. He doesn't know what mine is. But here's the rub. Okay, here's the rub. If he has one of mine, I have to knock mine off my list later on and replace it with something else. Why? I don't know. It's very inconsequential. Fuck yeah, we're doing it like that.
Well, I have 5. I have 5 ready to goes.
So I have 5 ready to goes as well. But
you told me you didn't. You told me you
didn't. No, I do.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying I didn't have 5 runner-ups the way you had 5 runner-ups. So, or
It's still the
honorable
same.
mentions. Point being is that if one of us names the other one's movie, they have to take it out of their slot and put something else in. Why?
Right.
I don't know. You know, that's just the way it works.
There's no winner or anything. It just happens.
Yeah, it's no, yeah, but it just makes it just changes it. It enlivens the game a little bit, I think, and that's why it's fun to do that. So that's how we're going to work.
And let's. I know it's your show. I just want to say,
please go ahead. Go ahead.
This category we did last time we did this was threequels, which is such a bigger breadth of choice,
absolutely,
than fourquels. And I was thinking, like, if we went past this, it would just get funny because there's the choices just keep smashing downward to nothing. It's like eventually you get to what's the best sevenths, you know, and like it's like how many
and then we are like really at each other's throats fighting.
Well, we have nothing else. There's nothing to choose from. Yeah, it's like Texas Chainsaw, Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, you know, all that stuff.
Now, one thing I do remember from the threequels is that I knocked you out quite a bit, and therefore, I am actually going to let you go first.
Okay.
But before we do, let us talk about because there was a lot of we were thinking in our heads as we were going back and forth about how to go about this. Was it just going to be horror fourquels? Was it going to be everything? What does that constitute? And we decided on horror, but what I really want to
I was more asking you what you wanted to do, because I was open to doing an everything fourquels.
Right, but that
would have opened it up so much.
It would have been too crazy, too crazy. Now, the other thing I do want to sort of tackle is we talked about how horror threequels, like where is a franchise at when the threequel, like with the threequel, like what does it mean? What does a threequel mean? I think like as an overall arching review, sometimes a threequel is meant to tie up a trilogy of sorts, right?
The trilogy is of any successful IP, the trilogy is the ultimate first goal, right? That means that not only did it, at least the first two worked, and then you got to hopefully finish the story if that's what you're trying to do, or you're that's usually where, if we're going to put a button on something before it all goes downhill, 3 is where we do it, right?
Right.
And if 3 makes money, then why not do it 4th? Because we just want more money, right? That's where the 4 comes in. It's like you could argue that the trilogy still is like when you're still worried about the studio still cares about story somehow, and then 4 is like the moment they start going, well, we got to do another one. This made how much, you know?
Right. And usually there will be some time after 3 that 4 comes out, right?
It's iffy if it's going to happen.
Right. Right. And generally you're waiting for a long time. And usually by the 4th one, the main star or whoever is not there anymore. Not always, but
not always. Like it's where everyone else said, okay, enough.
And then maybe sometimes in some instances you've got some like side characters, auxiliary characters that will now sort of steer the ship. I'm thinking of one franchise in particular.
Well, I was going to say everyone who basically still needs a job sticks around.
Yeah, that's
the people that are famous for the first couple.
That's the sad way to look at it, but it's true. It's true.
It's not untrue. It's not sad. It's work. There's no shame in it.
Yeah, work is work.
Yeah,
listen, work is work. Okay, that's the truth, and nobody would tell you that better than Nicolas Cage, who, by the way, has only ever done 2 or 3 sequels in his entire career. Okay.
Yeah. He's never made a fourquel, has he? No.
He's never made a fourquel, and he, for a guy, people lambast Nick Cage. I'm not going to turn this into a Nick Cage tirade, but people who lambast that guy, he's a guy who does very, very few sequels. But if you look at Tom. Well, I was about to say look at Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise did all the Mission Impossible movies. So look at Leo. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio never does sequels. Right? Like really, I don't even think he's ever done a sequel. Maybe he's done this. Oh yeah, he did Critters 3, of course. So
you can make the argument he's never done one when he's had power to choose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes,
Critters 3, sure, but does that count? That's him just saying yes to the industry.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So by the time, so here's the thing and the other thing that I think is very important to be like cognizant of a fourquel compared to a threequel is that the rules kind of really
Out
go
the door.
away. Out the
Out the
door.
door.
You can have, and this is where we get to really go hog wild in hilarity, in insanity, in whatever. Like
Yeah.
the first three are kind of still, by the third one, things are kind of going off the rails a little bit. The second one is making everything bigger, right? Or expanding.
And the
The
third
third,
one is like taking a left turn somehow.
right,
Like turn
right.
it on its head.
Turn it on its head,
Turn it on
or
its head.
bring things, give us some sort of sense of false finality. And then 4 is just like really is anything goes.
4 is like what they should have done with Jurassic World is when Spielberg wanted to have humanoid dinosaurs and all that stuff that work for the government. Like that's what they should have done with 4. So it just goes so off the rails. It has nothing to do with the first movie anymore. It's just it just has the theme song.
I agree. I agree. Just the da da da
right. But nothing to do with the first movie.
I mean, you could say the same about the Terminator movies, right? I mean,
right? No, yeah, you could.
So I mean, by the time if you look at Terminator 4, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna go ahead. I was gonna say
another
Terminator 4.
By the time you get to Terminator Salvation, I mean, like just shit is hog wild. Like they're just going crazy.
It goes off the board. I wanted to say something I really was thinking about while compiling my list.
Yes,
it is really interesting to me that Peter Jackson's early films have no mass amount of sequels.
It's crazy.
I would think that we'd have like 4 or 5 Dead Alives by now.
Yes, and bad taste.
How did Bad Taste never have sequels?
Yeah,
even Meet the Feebles could have had sequels. You know what I mean?
You know what I think? What should have gotten a franchise never did. Kind of blows my mind. Did you ever see Neon Maniacs?
Yeah,
How did Neon Maniacs not become a franchise? Should have been like Hellraiser level franchise, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about that.
It's odd to me that like Raimi had a franchise, and I kind of feel like I always put Jackson and Raimi next to each other because they had, they owned the 2000s as far as Spider-Man and Lord of the Rings were concerned.
True.
And they all both came from such similar backgrounds, but I'm like, it's just funny that Jackson never had any of his horror go franchised. Maybe he stopped it. Maybe he
might have stopped it. He might have stopped
Maybe he stopped it. I don't know.
He just might not. But at the same time, he did six Lord of the Rings.
Oh, well, he didn't have to make the Dead Alives.
Right.
I'm just saying, why didn't like some company say we're going to buy this? We're going to buy, Brain Dead. We're going to make Brain Dead 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, look at From Dusk Till Dawn and like Hostel are both trilogies.
They're not Robert Rodriguez movies.
No,
they're just
right. But you would think, yes
you would think, right. Or a Bad Taste TV show or some shit. I don't know.
Oh my god, you're like making me like lament what never was in a way.
It still could be.
It could be. It could
Jackson,
be.
Once he remasters them,
well, in a few days, we're going to find out if Bad Taste is being released by Vinegar Syndrome, and I almost pulled the trigger on the blind pre-order. I didn't do it. I came so close. I know that Vinegar Syndrome has Bad Taste. I know that for a fucking foregone conclusion.
But they're waiting on him, right?
Severin has Dead Alive and Meet the Feebles, and they were all supposed to come out this year, and so far nothing yet.
But they're waiting for Jackson to finish that whole super remaster.
No, he did.
He did. He's done.
They've had screenings. I think they've had screenings of Dead Alive. Have already had their screenings. Bad Taste is available on Canopy streaming, which is strange. I didn't check to see what the transfer was, but
what angers me so much about Bad Taste on Canopy is the thumbnail is fucking AI. It looks atrocious.
Yeah, it's so strange.
It angers me so much.
I'm like,
anyone that's listening, go to your Canopy account and look up Bad Taste. The thumbnail is disgusting.
It's very fucking strange. I don't know weird. Why. I don't know why.
Why can't you just use the things that already exist for the movie? There's plenty of posters and covers and shit. I don't get it.
It beats me. It for sure beats me.
Yeah.
I really do not. I really could not say.
Don't
Hard
know.
to say. So I'm gonna let. I'm gonna let
You're gonna let
Bob.
me start. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you start, Bob. And
And I
yeah.
think that your description of where a fourth is perfect for my first one. Because
Okay.
number one, I put mine in order of actually how much I love them, not best. It's just my personal enjoyment list, right? Of Fourquels, horror Fourquels. This one is not only my favorite 80s slasher character, but this fourth one, not only, I think, honestly, it's the Rocky 3 of the franchise, as in all the pop culture of this franchise comes from this movie. And this movie reinvented what the entire franchise sort of was from then on. Because by the third one, it was kind of waning in like quality to most people. I like the third one, but Anyway, so my number one horror Fourquel of all time is Bride of Chucky.
God damn it.
Where was that on your list?
That was that I mine aren't ranked, but that was in
Oh, you're
my
not right.
five. That
That's
was
not
in
my
my
number
five.
one. That was your five.
You
Okay.
you fucker.
I mean,
That's fine.
dude, it's like I said, as far as good Fourquels, it's
You're
a
right.
small pool, man.
Let's
But
talk about Bride of Chucky, and then I have to do a sponsorship thing, and I also have to do one other. There was one other order of business. Go ahead.
Oh, Bride of Chucky. I mean, look, the like I said, Chucky is my favorite horror, my favorite 80s slasher character for several reasons. But I think what's cool is about this franchise in and of itself, especially if you include the TV show, is it's all from, at least from the pen, sometimes directing, of Don Mancini. It's one guy,
Yeah.
and it's almost like the same guy who's been kind of shepherding the whole thing. He reinvented himself and what this franchise was for Bride of Chucky. But Bride of Chucky, I mean, I don't know. It's insanely of its time. It's insanely 90s, but you don't get much better than bringing in a character like Tiffany. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine the last like 25 years of Chucky or 27 years of Chucky without Tiffany being part of it. She almost feels like she always was part of it. You know what I mean? It's one of those additions where it's just like, okay, this is now official. Like I said, it's the Rocky 3. Can you imagine Rocky without Eye of the Tiger? Because that, you know what I mean? Like, right. It's like it just becomes part of that in your mind. Or the hockey mask for Jason didn't, right. It came later. So I view like the addition of Tiffany as sort of definitive, where you just can't get away from it. And it's great. I mean, like, going forward, she's such a great part of the story writing, and their interplay is the best. And it all started with Bride of Chucky, and it's a movie that I actually think is pretty damn solid. And Ronnie Yu is, I mean, I know some people say that he's too over the top, with Freddy vs. Jason and with Bride of Chucky, but I enjoy how extreme he takes some things. So,
Yeah, you touched on something that was actually what the thing that we didn't talk about with, I think, with Fourquels, or at least with Threequels and Fourquels, is the idea that like sometimes like mythology or whatever you want to say about it, like mythology about a movie or a franchise, really doesn't start to get established until the third or even fourth movie, right? And Bride of Chucky is the perfect example, with adding Tiffany to the mix. And the thing about the Chucky movies is that, for a time at least, they age like a fine wine. They just get better with every sequel. It gets better and better, and then eventually I feel like it kind of plateaued with some of those newer ones.
The two straight to video ones aren't as strong, but I loved the TV show. I really
did.
did.
Chucky. Yeah, I enjoyed the TV show. I didn't see the last season, but yes.
Yeah, the TV show is really fun. I think also in this case, when you get to a Fourquel, or just in this specific case, it's a tonal shift that all these guys experience, like, right, the Freddys and the Jasons. There's like a tonal shift at some point where they start kind of, there's always they start making fun of themselves, and then eventually we're going to make him scary again. Like those are but what I love about Chucky is that even all the way up to the TV show, it was always like never be afraid again to be the tone of Bride of Chucky.
Right.
Like you can still be scary, but we're always going to be winking with the audience. It's
that
always
was the
going to be funny.
divide. But that's
Right.
the divide in the
Yeah,
franchise.
yeah.
Like Bride
Right.
of Chucky was, we're gonna like take this in sort of like a completely new direction. And from that point on, because I actually watched it. I watched it for the first time in decades at the Alamo. I mean, I used to watch it all the time in the 90s and the early 2000s, and it played at the Alamo this year for in June for a queer history month or whatever. And so they talked a lot about the queer coding of from Bride onward, how the series just gets more and more queer coded. And and that's also in part
the TV show is off the rails.
The TV show just takes it to a whole other level. But even with Seed, right, like and the son and doing Glenn and Glenda, and
that was before Ed Wood. That was before the cultural conversation began of like trans cultural conversation. That was the Seed of Chucky was doing that.
Right. I mean, you had like there's all sorts of stuff throughout cinema history, but that was like the beginning of.
No, I just meant in this franchise. I didn't.
Sure, yes, within the franchise for sure. And so it's like it's kind of a shining diamond. Bride of Chucky is just a shining diamond of where a movie franchise can go by the fourth one, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, because the first three movies are really trying to be like a serious horror franchise. And as you've always said, I think you maybe said it previously, honoring the continuity. And Don was very good about honoring the continuity. If Chucky got his face chopped off by a giant fan blade, guess what? We're starting the movie with a giant fan blade.
Isn't that awesome that like when you see Chucky costumes out in the public and everything, they're always the sewed up Chucky from Bride of Chucky. But what I always love is the fact that it's such a continuity thing that he looks like that, because that's how he dies in part 3. Right. Which, it's literally that. It's like pure continuity still.
Yeah. And so I have a lot of respect and reverence for that, and as well. And I've always and John Ritter's great. And it's man, talk about lean too. It's only like 84 minutes, and it's just like no, it just it flows. It really flows. Also,
and Brad Dourif is as perfect a casting for one of these guys as you would say Robert Englund is, in my opinion.
Sure.
And to cast Meg Tilly or Jennifer Tilly, sorry.
Yeah, Jennifer Tilly.
As his girlfriend, and perfectly hit the mark again in the same franchise 4 movies in is so hard.
Not easy.
It's not easy to do that twice in the same franchise, like to just hit something so hard that she becomes iconic 4 movies in.
Alexis Arquette is great in that too.
Great, yeah.
As the goth boyfriend. So before we
so that, you don't have your list numbered, right? So
I don't.
Okay.
I have my next pick ready though, because now I have to replace one of mine because of Bob here. That's the game. This is the game. This is how it works.
Okay.
And I don't know why it matters. It matters to me. It matters to me.
I'll let you keep track of what's happening.
I'm keeping track. And you know what else? When things get sticky, there's only one thing you should do, and that's go to Riot Stickers for all of your sticker needs. riotstickers.com/Frumess is where you can get 1,000 stickers for $79. There's a link down in the description underneath Bob's link tree. Go check out all things Thunder Grunt Bob. Bob does a fantastic podcast about screenwriting that I have listened to a whole bunch. And then I will message Bob and have arguments with him because I'm parasocially listening to.
They're not arguments even. It's mostly Jeff saying a big paragraph of stuff that's responding to something I said like 6 months ago. And I'm like, dude, I have no fucking clue what I said.
Yeah, that's literally what happens.
Yes, I don't remember anything I said. So
yes, that's literally what Bob does. And I can't help myself. I actually have a backlog of episodes to go through. I don't listen to all episodes, just movies that really interest me. I'm like, I want to say about that. But yeah, you should check that out, as well as riotstickers.com, where you can get 1,000 stickers for $79. You just can't beat that deal, man. You can't beat that deal. Free shipping. Sharpie Riot, he's going to help you. He's going to guide you through the process. They also do, look, he did this beautiful banner behind me. He does hats, buttons, t-shirts, drum heads. He does it all. Riotstickers.com. You know where to go.
Riot stickers, we are the bomb. Riot stickers, we are the bomb. Riotstickers.com. We are the bomb. Riot stickers, we are the bomb. Riot stickers, we are the bomb. Riotstickers.com. We are the bomb. We are the bomb. We are the bomb. We are the bomb.
And we are back with you talking about horror Fourquels. And whoever that guy was who requested this episode, I hope you're happy out there. I hope you watched this.
Yeah. You didn't remember his name?
I have no idea what his name was.
You might have sent me a screenshot.
I was like, we're doing this for you.
Yeah. that guy that we don't know his name.
That guy, I don't even know his name. All right. So for my pick. So we already know that Bride of Chucky was on my list.
Right. We both have
my pick. I'll be very curious to know if Bob has this one on his list as well.
Should I tell you if it's on my honorable mentions?
You can.
I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's not a contest.
Well, it doesn't matter because you have to talk about it too. That's why it's so stupid. It's the game is literally about who gets to say the fucking title first. That's it. It's so immature. It's like
not a game.
It's literally not even a game. All it is getting to say something first and then pejoratively, like not pejoratively, but like punitively punishing the other person, making them switch a movie out.
Which doesn't matter in the end. It's not like there's an end tally, so there's
it's just fun. It's to me, it's fun.
Yeah,
because I want to say it first. And so for my pick, my next pick, or one of my top 5 picks, is for sure another franchise that I think is kind of, I don't know, I couldn't say that it's on the same level as the Chucky, the Child's Play franchise, but I feel like they're similarly tiered in like the echelon of horror franchises. You know what I mean? Like you would find this, like people probably would say the name of this character in the same breath as Chucky after they had already said like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. Like those are the first 3 that people are going to say when they're talking about horror franchises.
Chucky and then this person is what you're saying?
And then I would say probably Chucky and this.
Can I guess?
Yeah, of course. I know you're going to get it.
Well, no, I'm not necessarily going to get it.
You didn't get Return of the Living Dead Part 3. Remember that? You were
I'm trying to think. Okay, so like
that's part of why I'm doing this. I want to see if you can guess.
It's I'm going to get it wrong probably, but I'm saying like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky.
Yeah.
There's only one name I think could fit there though, but I don't think you would choose that.
I mean, there is another one. There is another one that I think would be in that conversation somewhere after, those 2. I'm thinking of 2 others. There's like, 3 others. I mean, if you really want to do like a double build Mount Rushmore, there's like, I would say there's about 8 slasher monster characters that really go on that kind of Mount Rushmore. Right.
Well, okay. So the only other one that is in that echelon and would be mentioned that high up would be, I got it wrong already, but it would be Leatherface.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of Leatherface, but you are absolutely right. Leatherface would be right up there with, if someone was Freddy, like
Jason,
all those. It would be like Leatherface would be the very next name. In fact, I literally think it goes Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface. Chucky. If we're talking about just like pop culture familiarity,
Chucky's the first tier under those guys.
That's what I mean. Then you would have Chucky, right? Then you would have Chucky, and then there are 2 other. I would say there are 2 or 3 other names that I think would fit.
Okay. This is a long shot. No,
No, I think you're going to be mad.
Is
You're
it
going to say,
Phantasm?
Jeff, that would be way further down. No,
Is it Phantasm?
in my opinion, Phantasm would actually be much lower. Not
No,
in caliber of movie, but in terms of familiarity.
Absolutely.
Like no one's going, oh, Tall Man. Like nobody's doing that. Nobody.
All right, I'm really okay. I don't want to. You know what? You just say it because I don't want to say everything we're going to eventually say.
Right.
So,
for me, I had to go with Leprechaun 4.
I was about to say that. That's it's not on my list. But
That's not on your list. I'm shocked.
No, but
I
am a loud advocate for Leprechaun 4 because it's absolutely fucking insane.
Absolutely fucking insane.
It's
like
nuts.
All right, so let's like let's take a brief moment.
It's not even like in continuity with the
let's take a brief moment to like really understand how batshit crazy Leprechaun 4 is. It's like the perfect example of everything that we just said as it relates to like what can happen in like a fourth movie. Yeah. It's like the first 3 Leprechaun films are not really tied together either, but they all follow this very common theme of somewhere on Earth there's a leprechaun
right.
played by Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
And he gets really mad when you take his gold. And like that is, and then somebody at Trimark was like, and I love Trimark. Trimark from the 90s. Incredible. Just everything that came out of Trimark is fucking great. Really, like when I watched
it's like the Canon Films type of dream stuff.
It's the Canon Films of the 90s. Absolutely.
Like that, yeah.
And you want to know something? I mean, right next to, of course, like Full Moon and like other shit too. But like,
yeah, sure.
But like Trimark, you know, when I see trailers for like Brain Smasher or Love Story, or there's just so much wonderful shit that came out of Trimark in the 90s. And obviously that includes the Leprechaun movies. And so, which later got absorbed by Lionsgate. So some suit in the direct to video division was like, I got an idea. How about Leprechaun in space? And they were like, that's it, baby. Leprechaun in space.
It's like Jon Stewart in fucking Half Baked. You ever made a Leprechaun movie on Wii
in space?
That's what I love. Leprechaun 4 tells you what it is right from the official title, which is Leprechaun 4: in space. It's not Leprechaun in space. That should be that's like the proper title,
right?
But it's Leprechaun 4: in space. It doesn't even sound right.
Yes.
Yeah, Ghostface. You're right, Ghostface. You know,
Ghostface was another one that I thought you were going to say. Ghostface would be in that conversation after those initial ones, right?
But I know how you feel about that movie, so I wasn't going to say it.
Right. Oh yeah, I detest Scream 4.
I knew that wouldn't be a choice by you specifically.
Yep.
Also, here's the thing about Ghostface is that unlike those other guys, he's technically not a singular being. Does that, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes, which is strange.
It's strange to put him
an archetype.
Or he's just like any character wearing that costume. Whereas,
but he's also symbolically he's death personified. Like,
right, but it's not the same as like
as the Grim. Yeah, right. Somebody takes up the mantle of the Grim Reaper,
right,
and becomes death personified. And that's how I've always kind of thought of Ghostface.
Whoever's comment that was, I would have said Ghostface if I didn't know Jeff.
Right.
The fact that I knew Jeff meant I wasn't going to say Ghostface because.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I always loved the Billy and Stu as whatever. I don't want to get. Let's not get.
Yeah, we can talk about. We don't want to talk about Scream.
Okay. So Leprechaun 4.
Yeah.
First of all, you got Miguel Nunez Jr. is in it, who I fucking love.
Juana Man.
Yeah. Juana Man. He's also in one of the Jason movies. He's also belovedly. He's Spider. He's Spider in Return of the Living Dead. That's where I had the pleasure of interviewing him once, which still I haven't released on this channel for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll get to it eventually. Either which case, this movie takes place in the year 2096, which I guess because it's
not a sequel. It's not really a sequel to anything.
Right.
there's nothing in this movie that ties to the other movies, and you can make a very strong argument that the leprechaun in this movie is not the character from the other movies. Almost, it's just something they made.
But it's just like they just decided, like, we're literally gonna take like the premise of Aliens. We're just gonna be like, this is an alien leprechaun. By the way, you have to realize this is an alien leprechaun because there are people from Earth on a space vessel,
right,
who encounter a leprechaun. That means that there are other leprechaun aliens. There are leprechaun aliens somewhere in outer space who have magical kingdoms, by the way. They're magical alien space leprechaun kingdoms. The leprechaun gets really big at the end.
And he needs like a beautiful princess.
Right.
Or something like that. I haven't watched it in like a couple years, but there's a whole princess thing. It's like a half naked woman in body paint.
Yes.
And the effects are one of the reasons I love this movie. The
sound effects. The sound effects are
incredible. Yeah.
The sound effects are literally like what you find stock on your computer from like like today. Like in the 90s, they weren't so common, but like you recognize any of those sound effects. If you've ever played with like iMovie or some bullshit, you'll be like, oh, like you'll be like, holy shit! It's just like someone had edited this movie in iMovie.
So me and my friends used to have a podcast where we did marathons, and then we recorded a segment of the podcast after each movie.
Yeah,
we did a Leprechaun one, and I just remembered out. This is not my opinion of the whole franchise, but I will tell you this: when a group of people, it was like 12 people, right, in my basement. When we got to Leprechaun in Space, it was a breath of fresh air.
Wow.
After like, I don't love the Leprechaun movies that much, and they weren't even that fun. If you ever really watch the first one, almost nothing happens. They're very slow. I'm not trying to shit on them, but I think
you have to be a certain age when you watch them, because when I watched Leprechaun when I was like young, like when it's
scary
came out,
for sure.
It was terrifying. Like when I'll never forget. I like probably like core childhood memory of watching something I should have been watching on cable TV was when he does the pogo stick on the guy's stomach in part 3. And it's so goofy, but Vegas, like as a child, I was like, yeah, that's part 3 in Vegas. And he goes, this old man, he and he's pogo sticking, and the guy's coughing up blood, and and the pogo stick's going into his gut. It's so funny, man.
I think I saw my introduction to Leprechaun was Wayne's World before I knew what it was.
I'm the Leprechaun.
Right. But I'm just saying, like a bunch of 30-year-olds marathoning the movies. When we got to it in Space, it was the goofy, silly, crappy pick-me-up that we needed by then, and that we kind of all were like, when it was all over, we all were like, we enjoyed that one the most. It wasn't what's the best movie. It was the one we all enjoyed the most.
I mean, this is also a movie where he went to the hood and he did battle with Ice-T, and like, and Darren Lynn Bousman was going to do Leprechaun in the Old West, and that never happened. I don't know if you remember that lore from the 2000s. But that's the thing about the Leprechaun, is that he's sort of like, just like the Bard, just like Shakespeare is universal, that you can plug anything in. You can do anything with the
Leprechaun could have been the Wishbone of horror.
Absolutely. Or
like
the Air Bud.
Right. Well, you just put him in different scenarios, like the Three Stooges.
Right.
In any genre, and he's the Leprechaun. Right. Yeah.
I mean, you could have done a Leprechaun gangster. Imagine like a 1940s Leprechaun gangster movie. Like they steal, like it's like what's his face? Scarface steals his gold, and he has to get it back. You know, like there's so many.
Leprechaun samurai movie. He goes to like ancient Japan. Like,
he's got
so out of place.
Katana of gold. They steal his katana of gold, and he just is like, I mean, there's literally a million things you can do. And there's like an android guy in this. I remember the one, like the scientist. He is strange android. There's so much zaniness. In fact, there's so much weirdness in this movie that the Leprechaun itself is almost like
irrelevant.
Not even the weirdest thing
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
happening in this movie. So
Also, like, I don't want to say another movie we both might mention, but it makes
be
a
careful.
perfect pairing with another movie that I know that you're already
I
thinking of.
already know what you're
Because
just
it's
gonna
literally both of them are the fourth one and in space.
say. Yeah. You just gave it away. God
Well,
damn it.
we're not going to say it. We're not saying it.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
I think the last thing I wanted to say about this one is it's
Yeah.
directed by Brian Trenchard Smith.
Yes.
And I find it interesting that he's the director of 3.
Yes.
Because 3 is kind of like my favorite non-insane one. Like 3 is my favorite, not in space one. And to go from that and to make your own sequel to that is so completely disregarding of what happened before.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. So part 3 is probably my favorite too. Whoever just said that.
In fact, I'm looking on the trivia right here because I just knew I wasn't going to remember all of the facts here. But Brian Trenchard Smith envisioned a sequel after this one in which the leprechaun would terrorize the White House, which never came to pass. I mean, they were ready.
Chucky eventually did that.
And Herbert West almost did that in 2008. And Stuart Gordon did not would have been Stuart Gordon's final film. Also, who worked on this movie, who was the executive in charge of production, was David Trippett, who is a Trimark executive who is responsible for so many Trimark movies and honestly would probably make for the greatest interview ever. He just could tell you about like that lore of like that golden age of the 90s. And apparently the sound of the doors opening and closing are taken from the original Doom video game. How about that?
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, Leprechaun 4.
That was in that's in my honorable mentions. I wrote that down for my honorable mentions. So I don't have to do whatever you said, replace it or whatever. But that was written down. That was written down.
It's like the lamentation of your enemies before the cries of their, like that's literally you're driving them before Crom when you take their pick because you're forcing them to change. That's what it is. It's so cutthroat.
I was not making my list to think about taking your list.
I wouldn't. Hey, neither was I. I was like,
mad.
but I was thinking in my head, I was like, whatever I pick, I want to feel passionate about the ones that I'm going to pick, right? Like I want, like that's super important to me. This fucking microphone is being a bitch.
Do I go? I'm going.
It's your turn to go. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so the next one I'm going to pick, I definitely don't think this is on Jeff's list. If it is, I will be shocked. In fact, I think this wouldn't be on most people's list. It's a TV movie. It's directed by, I believe, Mick Garris. And I absolutely love it. I think it's got so much pathos in it.
I already know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I already know what it is.
I pretty much narrowed it down with the director.
Just gave it the fuck away.
I gave it the fuck away. But I really love this movie. It's not talked about much. I don't think it's revered much, but I think it's really fucked up and weird and kind of gross in a great way. Psycho 4.
I knew you were going to say it. Psycho 4, the beginning.
Right. The flashback stuff is so messed up and uncomfortable, but in such a sick, wonderful way. Also, Anthony Perkins' last outing.
Get the hell out of here. That was his last film?
No, as this character.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes.
He's essentially just on the phone the whole movie.
Right.
He's essentially on the phone.
They shot him out in 2 days.
Yeah. Like it's not a big commitment from Anthony Perkins, but it is his last performance as Bates.
It's amazing he did 4 movies.
It is amazing. I'm a big fan of all 4. I'm I like the Psycho
I've never
franchise.
seen 2 and 3. Never seen them.
Jeff, I can't recommend 2 highly enough. I love 3 as well, but 2 is amazing. Sometime look up Tarantino's opinion of 2. It's great. Okay. But I love Psycho 2. But we're talking about Psycho 4. I think that if you watch the entire franchise as a whole, Psycho 4 is literally the perfect summation, even though it is essentially a prequel. It's a flashback prequel. Right. But I think personally they did a great job explaining the origin of Norman Bates.
Which they
Like,
kind of did again in the TV show.
they did. I didn't watch the TV show, but
I didn't either.
yeah. Essentially, the TV show was covering the territory of Psycho 4. But
Right.
I enjoy Psycho 4. Does it look a little bit like a Lifetime movie? Yeah. Is it a lower budget production? Yeah. But I really enjoy it. I really don't have too much to say other than I enjoy the pathos. Everything with his mother is so uncomfortable. I think that's why people don't like it that much. You know, it's not a comfortable subject matter.
No, definitely not.
It's really not, and it's not as much about what the Psycho sequels became, which was him, killing. So, but I like it, so that's why it's on my list.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that, Bob. I respect that. Okay, for my next pick is one that I'd be very curious to know if it's on your list.
Mm-hmm.
I was concerned in making. I wasn't concerned, but I had a bit of a raised eyebrow. I think there's a lot of people that malign this movie. I think it is such a great, especially when you consider that it's the fourth one in the franchise. I think it is a great fourth entry. I think it works perfectly. This is another franchise that honors the continuity, for better or for worse. They honor the continuity, and I respect them for that. And each film, it's interesting. Each film has a completely different tone, and that's what's so cool about that. And I feel like now with the TV show, I think I just gave it away.
You just gave
now
it away.
I just gave it away. But now with the TV show,
they on my list too. Yeah,
they just have gone in so many wonderful directions, I might add. I picked Alien Resurrection.
I mean, I knew you would so hard, but I was like, when I was going down the list of my list, I was like, honestly, this should go here. I couldn't help but put it at number 5 for me, so it is on my list.
I love it, and I can't pronounce the French director's name.
Jean. Yeah,
yeah. He did City of Lost Children. He also did Delicatessen. He did Micmacs. He's a strange pick in a way for an alien movie. But it totally works, and he brings back Ron Perlman and that guy in the wheelchair that's in his other movies too. He's in all his movies. French actor,
right? I forget his name.
I should really. This is doing a disservice.
Dominique Pignon.
You just looked it up. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and what's the name?
Also, this is a Joss Whedon rewrite movie,
right? But wait. So, what was the original idea for Alien Resurrection before?
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't remember. But I was gonna say, I feel like as far as people in my personal life, you might be the only other Alien Resurrection fan that I know.
A lot of people don't understand. It literally has never done anything wrong. It's wonderful. It fits in. It is fitting with the theme of like parent motherhood within the Alien franchise. The first one deals with uncaring parent leaving your children to be molested, if you will, and taken over and assaulted, essayed, and however you want to put it. The second one deals with the loss, motherhood loss, as well as surrogacy or chosen family. And we learn we James Cameron scales up and shows that the aliens also have like a different kind of motherhood that comes from like this hive perspective of like having a queen alien. So that's kind of interesting. And Ripley, she loses a daughter, but she also gains a daughter, and that's interesting. And then the third movie is dealing with like woman's choice, particularly woman's choice. Not that the first one doesn't deal with that too, but the third one really dials into a woman's right to choose for her own body.
the third one is also like it confirms and validates the Kafka-esque nature of the franchise, as in shit just keeps getting worse always.
Sure. Yes. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like there was never a true escape for Ripley from all this. Like,
right.
And how the third one ends. I mean, it's like that was the inevitability of the
but
whole
her
thing.
choice at the end to die.
It's her choice, though.
Yeah, it's her choice.
She was always going to die, but it's how she chose to do it.
She chose to die. She literally
but it's not
chose
an Alien
to
3
die.
podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
But she chose to die on her own terms. Like
Right.
She wasn't going to let the alien take her out. And so she chose that, and she wasn't going to let the company, which obviously is a metaphor for the government, to take control of her and her body so they could have her quote unquote baby. And then the fourth movie also deals with motherhood in the sense of unconditional love, the mother's unconditional love for an ugly mutated hybrid alien baby that's somehow related to, I guess Ripley is like the grandmother. It's actually her grandchild, sort of, because whatever. It's
not Ripley. It's a clone.
It's a clone of Ripley that somehow also has all of her memories, which is kind of silly. If anything, if I could hold anything against this movie, it would probably be, it would have been profoundly more interesting, and you still could have had Sigourney Weaver, which you needed for the star power. It would have been infinitely more interesting if she didn't remember. If she was just a clone who maybe she has flashbacks of her previous life, which would have been interesting to kind of tie in.
Or nothing. Either she remembers or she doesn't.
No. I say she doesn't remember, but she, maybe there's some sort of, or maybe at the beginning she has like sort of like a weird dream-like spiral of like her former existence or life, whatever. But the point is that she doesn't know who she is. And other people know who she is, maybe, or other people are like, oh, you're Ripley, and they tell her who she is. And that would have been far more interesting. And she still could have had all of her, and again, this is, talking about breaking the rules and jumping the shark. And, now she's a hybrid. Now she's an alien. She went from fighting the aliens. Now she became the alien. It's kind of
has massive blood.
right. And a lot of people did not like that. I never had a problem with it.
Let me be a little bit less charitable, but in a positive way to you, Jeff, because I think while I agree with you, I love this movie because I think it's just straight up schlocky entertaining.
Okay.
I don't think I view the first three as great. Like truly great cinema. I love all three of those movies. But this one, it was a production mess. I don't think it's totally perfect, and it is really funny sometimes. I love it. It's entertaining. I've always loved watching it since I was a kid, since the 90s. Like, it's an entertaining, schlocky movie that is better than 80% of the sci-fi we get now. And it's just fun. It's a fun movie to watch. Ron Perlman chewing the scenery.
Yeah.
You got that whole cast is fun to watch. Brad Dourif, the aliens killing each other to get out of the cage. It's like got the whole underwater scene. It's just really an entertaining, schlocky sci-fi movie on top of the themes of what you're talking about. So I'm not holding it up too much. I'm not holding it up past the first three at all in any way. But as far as like comparing it to movies we get now, I'd rather watch Resurrection than Romulus any day of the week.
Oh, hell fucking yeah, dude.
Hey, like easily. I
easily.
Like it just easily.
Easily. Yeah. And I'll tell you this too. Shit, what was I to say about Alien Resurrection? I'm trying to remember. To me, here's what I was going to say. Now I remember. I'm so sorry. So, my son, who absolutely is obsessed with the Predator films, he loves the original Predator.
Tell him,
loves Predator 2. Like, this kid is obsessed.
I just rewatched the whole thing.
Did you? I took him to see the new movie, and he just loved it. I loved it too. It was great. We had such a good time. But
that movie is the 90s comic books come to life.
It really is. It really is. But so is Alien versus Predator as well.
It is, but that movie was like Predator being a character, which was like the 90s comics. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a
It
Yacha being
really, truly, yeah, because in
like
Alien
straight
versus
up
Predator is from the
the
human perspective,
right?
and Predator Badlands is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've watched. He's seen the entire franchise. He loves Predators, and so I showed him Alien movies. But you know what was interesting was, and he watched those. He was a little bit younger when he watched some of those Alien movies, and the ones I chose to show him as a child, I think he was probably like 7 going on 8 when I showed him. I let him watch Aliens, which he loved.
I mean,
and I
it's
let
an
him
action
watch
movie.
Right. And I let him watch Alien Resurrection. I did not let him watch Alien 3, and I did not let him watch the original Alien. And that's because the tone to both those films is way darker, way more bleak, particularly Alien 3. I thought it would make him really upset. And I just chose, and I told him that. I said, look, you're going to be really let down by Alien 3, not because it's a bad movie, because it's just, that's a dark watch. You're going to love Alien Resurrection.
Alien 3, one of the reasons it's great is it's so not for kids or mass audiences.
Yeah.
It's not a movie that was made for what it should have been made for, which kind of makes it great in a weird way.
Yeah.
It sidestepped the broadness that the broadness of the franchise had to do what it did.
Yeah. And so and so to me, like, but to show him Alien Resurrection, it was just it was really fun. Alien Resurrection is also like just trying to expand in ways that it can. It takes place in the future. To me, so therefore it never felt like the excluded stepchild. To me, it was always the quadrilogy canon. Was that for me? It was always a quadrilogy of films. I never viewed it any other way.
Yeah, did you own that box set?
Fuck yeah. I had the box set. I had the DVD box set, and then I had the Blu-ray box set, and it's sitting right over there. And for me, that is like just that was, every once in a while I'd have to rewatch all 4 movies in a row. And I would just do that as like a semi-regular exercise from time to time. And there were so many great features on those discs. I would just explore.
Oh yeah. I've watched the making of all those recently.
Just really a fantastic. It was a fantastic box set and fantastic films. But I digress.
I absolutely knew that was going to be on your list because I just know, number one, I know you, so I knew the Scream 4 and I knew Alien Resurrection. I was like, those are the 2 things that were on my mind the whole time. I was like,
and I thought I knew you were going to do Bride of Chucky. I just had such
easily.
Feeling.
That was number 1.
Yeah.
The second
I think I know what another one. I think I know what another one of yours is going to be. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I know what another
I don't know.
One be. All right, go ahead. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay, I need a drink of water.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've already mentioned this one in passive talking.
Yeah, I know what it's going to be. I knew it.
This is actually, of the franchise, this is the one I saw first.
Really?
Yes. When I was a kid, I did not live in a household that liked horror. I wasn't shown horror. I was shown comedy. That's what I grew up on. So I came to all horror movies like of my own volition by accident. Okay. And I happened to stumble upon this one first. And I think people generally view it as one of the better sequels past the first segment of movies. But I don't really know how people feel anymore about this franchise. It's such a mess. But it is Halloween 4: Return of Michael Myers.
Whoa!
That's my
wow. I was not expecting that at all. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm not even a big Halloween franchise fan.
Shit.
But I, as far as like the assignment is Fourquels we love.
Yeah.
And there's not many of them. So like I was like, I do really love Halloween 4. It's kind of the first one that introduced me to the whole franchise, and I have fond memories of it. I don't know how hard I want to defend it or anything, but I think people generally like it.
Oh, I don't know. It's fucking just. I think it sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, none of the Jason, Freddy, or like none of those slasher movies are sacred to me at all. I mean,
Oh yeah,
do
you've
I
already
have
told me
certain
this.
ones?
Yeah.
Certain ones I like, certain ones are okay. I think I
was gonna
actually
say?
I don't want to say because it might
Oh,
come
okay.
up. Better not say. I thought it was going to be a different movie.
Oh, okay. No,
This to me, it's so generic, dude. It's just fucking bland, generic. Bleh.
Well, I mean, I like all those franchises. This is my
I don't hate them. I just, they're just not sacred to me.
Oh, this one is less sacred to me than the others.
Okay.
But this is of the others.
Uh-huh.
This is the one that stands out to me. Like, if I had to like put it up against fourth Freddy or fourth Jason's or whatever,
Okay.
this was kind of the one where I was like, no, as far as like all the major slashers go, that's probably my favorite. And I think it's because it's kind of like Friday 6, where they tried something completely insane in 3.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we're okay. We're gonna bring him back.
We're bringing back Michael Myers, which was the worst. That's why it's so bad, because it's like the worst decision they could have made.
I get that, but also that I totally understand that argument. But I also like Friday 3 or Friday. I like Friday 5 and I like Friday 6. I also like Season of the Witch and I like this. So I'm not really too picky when it comes to that stuff. But it would have been cool if Halloween became an anthology series. I agree. That's very interesting for it just to be different movie every time called Halloween. That would have been awesome. That's not that I don't think that would have ever really truly worked.
It wouldn't have, but we are absolutely living in an alternate timeline where it's like Back to the Future, Jaws 19. We got fucking 12 Michael Myers movies. It's insane.
Right, it's insane. But yeah, I like 4 is probably my second favorite Halloween. So there.
Holy shit, I just thought of another 4. I can't believe I neglected that one. Holy shit. Yeah. I know it's going to be on it's either in your honorable mentions or it's I know it. I already know it.
Okay, there's only one that I can tell you this. There's one that's my absolute favorite on this list, and I can't list it because of the nature of what it is, but I'll explain that later.
No, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have literally nothing to say about Halloween 4 other than
I know, I figured that. I also know that you don't like that stuff.
I saw it once. I was like, I literally saw it one time and I was like, wow, I never need to watch this again. It's just that's the one where he washes up on shore and he's in like the hut at the beginning, and then oh god, and yeah, and then with the little daughter, with Laurie Strode's daughter.
That's also the one. I don't want to speak. I haven't watched it in a while. That's also the one. Is that Paul Rudd's first movie, or is that the
one? His first movie is
it's one of his.
Paul Rudd's first movie was was Halloween 6.
Right. Okay, so I'm wrong.
In 95.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah. Oh my god. I just
like I said, if it wasn't the Fourquel thing, it would have never even touched the list. But it's a weird fucking concept to ask yourself. Like,
I get it.
I probably could, if I did this again next week, it would be different.
So for my next pick is one of the big franchises. It's I'm just gonna say it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4.
Yep, it's on my list. It's the next one.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's the next one.
The reason why I picked Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 4, which I saw many times, it's not because Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger are in it, who they made it before they were famous. It's just because the movie is just so fucking bizarre. It's just so strange.
Truly, it's not even like I would never say it's great. It's just fucking insane.
It's just insane. It's not a good movie.
I could watch McConaughey's performance for another 3 hours. Like it's like he's doing cocaine the whole movie.
Yes, and so like there's this strange. Now McConaughey also has like a bum leg. He has like a robot leg. He has like a robot place, and it's like I wouldn't call it a subplot, but there is like a substantial amount of time devoted to the fact that his character has a robot leg that's controlled with remote controls, which he has just a fucking fuck ton of these remote controls on the kitchen counter, and he gets really angry when his robot leg is going haywire, and he's got to find the right remote control to make his leg behave. And then we find out that there's a cabal of fucking old rich weirdos that have basically hired the fucking Leatherface family to like commit these heinous acts of violence for some unknown reason.
It's never returned to in the series. It's never said again. It's just
what?
Where did this come from? What this movie
is known as Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Return, by the way.
Yeah. Well, when I saw it like late night. It was called The Next Generation on HBO or something.
It was also called The Next Generation as well.
Yeah. And I had no idea what I was watching because I had seen the first one before I saw this. I hadn't seen 2 and 3.
And it starts off as like a fucking prom. They're going to the prom.
No, it starts off like a pretty normal slasher movie.
Yeah.
But then, you get into Matthew McConaughey's robot leg, the government stuff, and then you have kind of like crazy John Waters drag queen Leatherface screaming the entire movie. It's like
which does track because it's kind of like pulling on the they're kind of like playing with the Ed Gein of it all, and which is very much in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's just a lot more muted. I would say it's more muted in the original than it is in the in the fourth one.
For sure, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, is it a complete mess? Yes. Does it work? Kind of no. Is it entertaining? Completely. Could you see what they were trying to do? Yes.
And they
you know what I mean? It didn't work, but I could see what they were going for.
And literally at the end, they instead of using the Black Mamba truck, they have a fucking airplane.
Right, yeah.
It's fucking weird, man. It's just such
an odd movie. I like that the theme of this list for both of us is sort of like what there's a theme of like we're at 4, so it's just how fucking nuts did they go?
Yeah, man.
It's like Leprechaun in space. It's so beyond what
Yeah, and I mean, like that's kind of like the criteria for me in selecting my 4s a little bit. I mean, I kind of like the funny thing is I picked all of my 4s not for like a set criteria,
right?
Like because at the end of the day, like again, very disjointed. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, quote unquote, franchise, if you can call it that, hates continuity. Is the like absolute antithesis of continuity.
Completely.
Just wants to
only Leprechaun in space hates it more. That's like the only one that might outdo it.
Right. But it's just like when you look at and the fact that you have you don't know whether you're talking about like which movie you're talking about, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
Are you talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Are you talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Or are you talking about Texas Chainsaw 3D?
I recently made a t-shirt that said, "Oh, you're a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Name 3."
Right. I remember that shirt. That made me laugh because I was like,
you can just say it 3 times.
Legitimate fucking truth. It's like saying,
you do it Halloween too.
Do you like Halloween, or Halloween? And I know Bob.
Hellboy.
And Bob, I know that when I said that just now, you knew exactly which one was which based on the order of what I said. I said, am I talking about Halloween? And I could literally make a sentence out of that. I could say that most people don't like Halloween and that they prefer Halloween, but I paradoxically do prefer Halloween to Halloween. And as for Halloween, well, that didn't really make any sense, but it's there. So there's Halloween.
Yeah, I kind of hate Halloween. I think Halloween is like, a fucking classic. And the other Halloween's very entertaining.
Right. And see, I think I knew exactly what the fuck you just said. Like, I know what you said.
What was that last comment that just popped up?
Telescope says David Lynch's last 4 films, Lost Highway, Inland Empire, Mulholland Drive, and Twin Peaks: The Return. No other film series can touch it.
That's not really what we're doing, though.
I know. I don't know what he's...
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, like, that's not what we're doing.
We're talking about Fourquels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the ongoing thread, the only thing that ties Texas Chainsaw Massacre together is there's a guy named Leatherface with a chainsaw, and then they just
and the title.
Right. And they just keep dropping him into like these different scenarios, and it just none of it makes sense. But
it's so wild. I didn't like it when I first saw it much, but now where I am now, it's like when I did a rewatch of the whole thing, I was like, this is incredible. Like Matthew
yeah,
McConaughey's performance, like I said, that
been a long
won
time
me
since I've
over.
seen it. Been a long
His
time.
performance is worth the watch. It's absolutely worth the watch.
I'm sure I would appreciate it, particularly right now. And mind you, this is right before he blew up, right? Like he's still a bit player.
Both of them were not.
Yeah, Renee as well. Before Jerry Maguire, and and then they used both of those names to really top bill. That was like really put on Front Street for that. The marketing.
If you ever seen a movie starring Bill Murray called Larger Than Life? Do you remember that movie with the elephant?
From the 90s?
From the 90s. It's a 90s movie with Bill Murray and an elephant. If you ever revisit that, Matthew McConaughey plays a character called Tip Tucker in that movie. And his performance is so reminiscent of him in Texas Chainsaw 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I finally, complete sidebar here without any further discussion, I finally watched Deadfall.
Nice. Good.
So I finally got to see that legendary cage.
Yeah. These hangers, right?
Oh my God.
Anyway.
All right, it's your turn.
It's my turn, but my list is over because
is your list over?
Number 5 on my list. Well, number 4 was Texas Chainsaw. So you said it, and then that was my next one. So
I had Alien Resurrection.
I can replace it though with it. I can replace it with an honorable mention.
You have to replace you have to do one replace, and I have to do one replace. Okay. Actually,
I'll replace my number 4.
Go ahead.
With Phantasm 4. That's I'm taking that. Phantasm 4. I've watched it several times. I love the Phantasm movies. Phantasm 4 makes the least amount of sense of all of them, in my opinion. I barely know what's going on, but I still I really dig it.
I think that's what everybody I've ever heard talk about Phantasm has said, like some approximation of the same thing that you just said.
Right. Like I'm just kind of like I just trust in the movie.
Right.
And I take my own meaning. Like I can piece together what I think is happening. I mean, he just mentioned
Ravager makes no fucking sense, dude.
Ravager makes no sense. But I enjoy Ravager, even though it looks like I made Ravager. That's why I like Ravager. It looks like I made Ravager. It's like somebody paid Bob Rose $300 to make a Phantasm movie.
I love how that movie started in like 720p.
Yeah, that's so great. Yeah, I definitely Ravager. I can see why people don't like Ravager because it's like a web series, but
it's
so cheap.
Ravager. It's not even that it's cheap. It's just like, and you know what's amazing? And here's the beautiful thing. The thing that I do like about the Phantasm series is that it's just kind of like whatever Don needed it to be.
Coscarelli.
Yeah. Whatever he needed it to be, the Ravager the Phantasm series kind of became. But the beautiful thing is that like Reggie and Angus Scrimm and what's his face, Michael, whatever. Yeah. That they're in those actors are in all the movies, man.
Except like, Michael is in
two. He's not in two. Yeah. But Reggie and the tall man are. Reggie and Angus Scrimm are.
My personal favorite is 3. That's my personal favorite. Lord
3 is I've said this, I don't know, I think I said this to you before. 3 to me is like the sort of status quo representation of Phantasm, even though that doesn't really make any sense. In the same way that Army of Darkness is kind of like
right.
The representation, right? And speaking of, that would have been the perfect example at the beginning of the show when we were talking about like how the third movie things get established by the third movie. Army of Darkness is a perfect example of that. That's like what Ash became, and
every comic book after that is Army of Darkness verse.
Right.
That's the Ash that people think of, right?
But for Phantasm, I would say part 3, when I was watching part 3, my biggest takeaway, and I had seen it a long ass time ago in the 90s on TBS. I would say that's the one where it ends with all the balls, where all the balls are all over him at the very end. It's a cliffhanger kind of, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me, I was like, oh
It's got
yeah,
the Home Alone stuff in it. The Home
right.
Alone
Yeah,
stuff.
because there's the kid with the revolver. Yeah, that to me was like, you know, and again, like there really is no byline through that. It would be actually really interesting if somebody remade Phantasm. And I know that's like sacrilegious to say.
Probably, yeah.
But to me, I'm almost like, because it's not sacred to me, and once again, I'm almost like, take like some of the weird shit that's happening in the first movie, like the dude who's flattening bodies on Mars, like take that and like run with it, like do a TV show or do like make something really interesting, because it really does have some far out concepts. But like, if you ask anybody, like, what the fuck is going on in this movie, nobody fucking knows. Nobody.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, I do think I said that 3 is my favorite. I half disagree with you because I think 2 is kind of the universally most loved one with horror fans. But 4, the one that I put on my honorable mentions, it really makes the least amount of sense in a franchise that some people find confusing.
And they took footage from the first one.
Yeah.
Right. And put it. And the unused scenes were used in.
It is a perfect horror film. I agree. I don't want you to think I don't like Phantasm 1 Telescope. Is that what his name was? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like Phantasm 1. I don't dislike it.
I love Phantasm. I love the Phantasm movie.
And I respect the fuck out of it too.
Yeah,
because it's just so weird.
It's ballsy.
Yeah, and it's just trying to do something completely different. So like, I'm okay with that, but yeah, like those movies, man, like they nothing makes sense. Just nothing.
That's what I'm saying is when you get to 4, it's like amps up that so much.
You know, it would be interesting editing exercise, a fan edit that pulls from all 5 movies and kind of tries to carves out a coherent narrative out of all 5 movies. Is that possible? Do you think that that's even doable?
All I know is I'm not the one doing it.
Not volunteering you for the role.
Yeah.
But is it possible? Does it, kind of how like Topher Grace got like really into fan edits with like the Star Wars prequels, and he's made a cut of episode 2 and 3 together that's like really it's like 90 minutes long, and supposedly it's incredible.
Message Topher, get him to do the Phantasm. Maybe. The Phantasm logic cut. Or
anybody, that's what I would be called. The fan edit. Literally, if we're literally fanficking fan edits right now. The fan PHAN. Yeah, the PHAN. Yeah, it would be the fanfic logic cut.
Right.
The cut that actually makes sense.
But I really want to stress.
Yes,
I'm not insulting Phantasm 4. I love it.
No.
But I don't fully understand it. I'm just admitting it. Did anyone bring up Psycho 1 through 4? I didn't see what he said.
He said, did anyone bring up Psycho 1 through 4 being an awesome series of films? Besides 1, 3 is my favorite.
I said 3 is my favorite. Yeah. If you didn't hear, I put 4. I brought it into my list because Jeff has depleted my list. So.
I don't think he understands that it's a 4. This is about 4.
This whole thing is about the 4th movie in a franchise, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well that was my replacement number 4, Jeff. So
that was your replacement. Okay, so now I'm going to do my replacement for Bride of Chucky, which you told me. And it's a movie that I would say is like right up there with what we had, horror fans. If you were a horror fan in the 90s, you were on like message forums or whatever, there was always some sort of discourse about like, when are we going to get Evil Dead 4? It was just like, I mean, even to this day, people like dream of Evil Dead 4. Now we've now got a remake and 2 other Evil Dead movies since then, but I don't think anybody counts those as true Evil Dead 4. An Evil Dead 4, at least by my mind, is a Sam Raimi directed, Robert Tapert produced Evil Dead movie starring Bruce Campbell. That would be the true Evil Dead 4, right? Would you agree with that, Bob?
I have no fucking clue where you're going with this, because
I'm going to tell you where I'm going with it.
Yeah, because if you say what I think you're going to say, I didn't say it because I wouldn't be allowed to say it because of the rules.
No, but Telescope does say that Evil Dead, the series, is Evil Dead 4. You're right.
I have it written down, but I couldn't put it on my list because it's a series.
No, it's definitely not. It's a series. No.
Yeah,
that's not where I'm going with this. Another movie that I'm only bringing up the Evil Dead 4 because there was another movie that horror fans like Evil Dead 4
I don't think
salivating.
You can do that for these rules.
What?
I don't think you can do it for these rules.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. I'll hear you out.
Well, what do you think? Since I already know that
you already discounted the remake and the remake sequel, right?
Of what?
Evil Dead.
I'm not even talking about Evil Dead. I'm just saying
okay.
I'm saying like Evil Dead 4.
Oh, okay.
We all like, am I wrong though? Like, Bob, you remember like all the way back then, people were always like, when is Evil Dead 4? Evil Dead 4. You know,
back in the 2000s, when I used to actually care about Ain't It Cool News, every day on Ain't It Cool News, people were like, where's Evil Dead 4? And it's like all anybody cool or nerdy wanted Evil Dead 4. That's it.
Right. And so technically, I guess Evil Dead Rise and Evil Dead Burn are Evil Dead 4 movies, but they're not really. They're not. We've never actually gotten.
Is Ash versus Evil Dead. That is Evil Dead 4.
No, it's not, because it's a TV series. Nope. Disagree.
Jeff, it doesn't matter. It's not a movie. I can't put it on this list, but it is 100% inarguable. You can't shake your head. No, it is. Sam Raimi wrote it and directed it.
Even because he did the pilot, still doesn't matter. He still doesn't matter. It's not a film.
It is Evil Dead 4, and it's the end of the Evil Dead show. It's the end of the Evil Dead story.
I was okay with. I was okay with the way that they ended that. I was okay with that. I was like,
that's what I'm saying. That is Evil Dead, the end of Ash's story. It goes from those 3 movies to that.
But we never got a proper Evil Dead 4.
No, we got a TV series.
We got a TV series. Never got a proper Evil Dead 4. Much like that. All of that to say, much like that, there was another franchise where there was the long-awaited 4th movie that everybody was hoping would come at some point. It had a sort of a thematic nature to the titles, right? As like times of the day, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay. And everybody was waiting for the 4th movie, which actually never ended up coming. It didn't exactly come. Instead, that movie died and was resurrected as a 4th movie, George Romero's Land of the Dead.
Okay. I was kind of assuming you were saying that, but you confused me the hell out of me. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Took you on a journey, Bob. Took you on a journey. No, Evil Dead, man. Not Evil Dead. So
if I could have counted Ash vs. Evil Dead, that would have been like number 2. I just
that would have been that. That would have been.
I couldn't have counted it.
No, you couldn't. Nope. No, you could not. Not a movie. No.
Yeah.
Twilight. People have been talking about Twilight of the Dead for fucking years. In fact, there were aspects of Twilight of the Dead that were left over from the original script for Day of the Dead before it got scaled way down. And we had heard there was going to be a 4th movie, George Romero. The sad reality is that George Romero, besides like basically like starting the movement that he started, he also got like maligned and pigeonholed into it. And like all he could ever make was zombie movies, which is really fucking sad because there's so much more to George Romero than zombie movies.
The sad fact of that and the second trilogy, the Land, Diary, Survival, is even though he was George Romero, those like especially when you get to Survival, it's just sad seeing how little money he had. You know,
very sad.
It's very sad. Like out of those 3, Land is the only one that I like. And I want to stress
Land was an actual fucking like. I mean, Diary of the Dead had a theatrical release too, but Land of the Dead
I saw it in theaters.
Right.
I
So as did
I saw Survival in theaters too.
I did not see Survival in theaters, but I did see Diary in theaters. But Land of the Dead was a big fucking deal. It was the largest amount of money he had. It was being made by a major studio. He had $20 million, and it was his chance to really go balls to the wall. And I feel like he was. I don't know that he had any.
Make a profit.
I think I don't know. I don't know if it was. I think it might have made a profit, but I don't think it was successful in the way that he had hoped it would be. It was at the dawn of the friggin' zombie renaissance that started in the early 2000s, right?
And
that started with
the Shaun of the Dead renaissance, right?
Shaun of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead remake, and 28 Days Later, even though that's not a zombie movie, and Land of the Dead.
It helped with the popularity.
Right. It helped with the popularity.
So it was the budget, according to Wikipedia, the budget's $15 million.
Okay.
And the box office was 47. Now, if you factor in marketing, it still should have turned a profit.
No, that does not. That absolutely. That I remember even back then, it was just not considered to be a big success. I'm sure it did very well on DVD. The movie itself is, I never thought it was a perfect movie. It wasn't like it doesn't belong in the echelon.
I like it. I really do like it. I
like it too. Yeah. But it does not belong with the original trilogy of Night, Dawn, and Day.
When it came out, the sad fact is it couldn't compete with the people who were reinventing George's work.
Yes, that's true.
I know 28 Days,
and he was bitter about that.
He was bitter about that.
That pissed him off.
I know. Look, I fully agree that 28 Days Later are not zombies, but still, if you take Shaun of the Dead, 28 Days Later, and the remake of Dawn, those three movies were like just such a proper and popular reinvention of the thing he had already foundationally laid down. And then he came in, and it just, I don't know. George was still doing his same deal, and I don't know. It's not like it's bad. It's just, it wasn't what those three brought to it,
No, it definitely was not. And he was trying to do like interesting new ideas that sort of like, and here's the strange. This is going to sound really strange, but the reality is that the zombie mythology that George Romero invented was perfect out of the gate. It never ever needed any sort of it never needed anything modified to it. It was.
I think Walking Dead, the popularity of Walking Dead proves George Romero's. What you're saying. Yeah. Not that I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, but it lasts. I mean, how many? It's like what, 7 TV shows now. Like, that's all based on George Romero's foundational ideology of what a zombie is.
You don't need a zombie to get smarter. You don't need it to learn. You don't like all that stuff. Yeah, it just all that stuff was fucking stupid. All you needed to do, the zombie was fine the way it was, as it was born in 1968, tried and true, just perfect. It was extrapolated on in Dawn of the Dead in the sense that, they have residual memory and they come to this place that they once knew. That's fine. That fit within that.
I don't mind I don't mind playing with it. I don't think it's an insult to play with it,
It's just that he went to just a whole new level he kind of plays with it a little bit in Day of the Dead with Bub, and Bub is smart enough to, and that was kind of goofy. That if there's anything that's goofy for me about Day of the Dead, it's that. It's that.
Day of the Dead needs it, man. It needs it.
I don't think it does.
It's such an. I love Day of the Dead. I wouldn't change it.
I know we've talked about Day of the Dead.
I wouldn't change a single frame, but it's such a depressing movie. I kind of like the little bit of lightness you get from Bub.
We actually agreed. We came to the conclusion that like Day of the Dead is it's actually, you're watching like the end of humanity. Like you're watching, it's not, there's no like when they're at the island, at the end, I mean, that's the end. That's like their end. That's not the beginning of like a new world. When she's drawing in the calendar, it's almost like a death rattle of civilization. She's like the last person keeping a calendar of what what civilization represent, keeping track of the days, because very soon time is just not going to matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. And so then to continue on with that with Land of the Dead, it's not, I mean, it's just not necessary. And it takes place
But
3 years after.
What's great about it is the class
we'll talk
warfare.
About yes, of course.
The class warfare stuff.
Dennis Hopper, fucking
Dennis
amazing.
Hopper. I mean, like,
John Leguizamo's great too.
You can say it's not a perfect movie, but
it's not.
He's going as hard with the fucking blunt ass themes that he put into his other movies too.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just as much as Dawn of the Dead is about consumer culture, American consumer culture. I mean, Land of the Dead is straight up class warfare.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, it's not even hiding that. And that's what's awesome about the movie. If the movie's not perfect, it's still pretty fucking like.
But I'll tell you, there's some great practical effects in it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Big Daddy is a great zombie icon. I've met that guy. He's a great guy.
Okay, so I didn't just meet Big Daddy. I actually ate dinner with him. Check this out. When Romeo's Distress was nominated for best and won for best screenplay for a feature-length film at the Macabre Faire Film Festival, I was sandwiched between Big Daddy from Land of the Dead on my right, and on my left was fucking Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Oh God,
what's her face? Linda, whatever her name is.
I don't know her name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So I had Big Daddy on my right and Pazuzu, literally Pazuzu from The Exorcist on my left. As I won this award, and I remember Eugene is his name. And he tapped me on the shoulder and he's like, "Go up there, man. You won." I was like, "Yeah, I did." And that was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool memory with what's his face from
that guy's he's pretty popular at conventions and stuff.
Yeah. He's made that Big Daddy thing work for him. He does. He's still
It's a good character as far as zombies go. Like, he's only, maybe you could argue he might be right under Bub as far as famous zombies. But I really do like the movie. I don't want anyone to think I don't. I will say this. It's the only movie I've ever owned on HD DVD.
Oh, wow.
It's the only one I ever bought that was on HD DVD. That's it. That's the funny part of Land of the Dead for me.
Dennis Hopper is just so fucking great.
He's so fucking great. Yeah, he's great.
And it's amazing, too, because there's also like this whole
That was only a few years before he died, right?
It was.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because, like, oh, what a match made in heaven, fucking George Romero and Dennis Hopper.
As a scumbag.
Right. As just like a great bad guy. I'm obviously
it's really Dennis Hopper as King Koopa again, but no.
I mean, he's played a bunch of bad guys. He's also great as the Deacon in Waterworld, man. I mean, he knows he knows his way around a bad guy. But he's great, in the sense that, like, his richness, and he has like he's like paying people money. It's like, what does money matter in the world when it's like gone? The world is dead.
Jeff, I think you would agree with me here because of what we just talked about. If George Romero was allowed to make Land of the Dead, let's not change anything about it, but he makes Land of the Dead in 1995.
Okay.
Before the boom again.
Right.
I think Land of the Dead would be more revered by fans, much like how Day of the Dead wasn't a huge hit, but it has been reassessed and stuff. I think Land of the Dead would have fared better had it not been for the comparison that it had of stuff surrounding it that was exciting people more. You know what I mean? Like, it was in such a mode of comparison. I remember that because I remember walking out of Land of the Dead and I was like, it's good. It's just like,
that's how I felt. I think
I was, like, I just had watched all this other awesome fucking shit about zombies. I was reading The Walking Dead at the time. I was reading the comic and stuff. So it was like, I was so saturated that he couldn't compete. It's like releasing a superhero movie now versus 2010. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
It's just you've been so inundated and saturated and stuff.
I mean, imagine if instead of not that I know how you feel about Night of the Living Dead 90, but
love
like
it.
Imagine
love the original instead, too,
of course. Imagine if instead they had released or he had released instead of writing or alongside writing Night of the Living Dead 90, he had also directed Land of the Dead in 1990. That would have been really interesting.
You know, I want to say, even though we're not talking about it, Night of the Living Dead 90 is one of the few remakes where I don't feel like kind of guilty saying I prefer it because
I know you said this to me.
Because George Romero
he wrote it.
He wrote it, and he was like, I want to make another version that I can make money on. In
Right.
his eyes, he was literally redoing his movie like for himself. That was just as much for him.
Right. And he's like, okay, we've all been here before. And again, and we should move on from this.
We should move on. Yeah.
But before we do, I just want to say that what's interesting is it's a great example of like, okay, you already know what's happened in the original. The original's an iconic, classic film.
Right.
So I need to subvert your expectations somehow. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do that with Barbara. And and change up the ending a bit, and I think there's like I think that's like when remakes are perfect, man. Like you want to tackle the same material as you did before and do it relatively faithfully. That's fine, but you have to subvert something in the story in some way that's interesting and changes things. And you know what? Everybody hates that fucking Pet Sematary remake from 2019, I respect what it tried to do. What it tried to do.
That too.
I respect that. I understand why they did it. They were like we all know you're expecting this, so we're gonna do this, and it's only gonna work once because once you've seen this movie, you're not gonna give a flying fuck. But I hope that we've shocked you enough when we do it that you'll appreciate what we're doing.
No, I agree.
So
I don't like that movie, but I agree that they were trying something interesting. Yeah.
Right. Frankly, sorry, I can't help myself. I just watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. I didn't watch I Know What You Did Last Summer. I actually watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. No. I didn't watch I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I wish they called it.
Sorry,
I still know what you did last summer. I wish they just did. I wish they played with the title since like the second one was like kind of a funny title.
Couldn't they say I always will know what you did last summer?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. But the point is I know what you did last summer.
Jeff, when I saw the trailer, I was like, they should just to start a new franchise call it I Know What You Did. I Know What You Did.
Yeah, literally, I Know What You Did. That would have been perfect.
Take the summer off, and then it could be I Know What You Did from now on.
It could be in the winter. It could be in the fall.
Anytime.
It could be springtime.
Just say, I know what you did last week.
I know what you did yesterday.
Yeah. I know what you did.
I know what you did. That would have been interesting. Did you see I Know What You Did Last summer?
No, I have not seen.
Oh, then I can't say it.
I saw I Know What You Did Last Summer in theaters, but I did not see I Know What You Did Last Summer
in theaters.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You should definitely see, if you saw I Know What You Did Last Summer, if you saw I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, you should definitely see I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I think I need to revisit I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer to see I Know What You Did Last Summer.
You should.
Okay, people are going to stop watching.
Please let me know when you watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, though.
Okay, I have to revisit the whole thing because I don't remember.
All right, but just let me know. Well, Jack Black had dreadlocks. That's all you need
I remember that. Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
You'll never forget Jack Black.
I remember Scary Movie so much more than I remember like this.
Please watch the new one, and I'm very curious to see how you feel about what they did. And I have lots of thoughts.
It didn't go over too well.
I have lots of thoughts.
It was a real mediocre response to it. I know that.
I thought it was going someplace really interesting until it didn't. And then they did something where I was just like, whoa, that was a choice. And I can't say anymore.
Yeah, we got to move on.
We got to move on. Yeah. We got to move on. All right. So that was Land of the Dead.
That was your choice. So I'm on my number 5.
Right. So you're on your number 5, and then I have one more, and then we're
done. My number 5 was originally Alien Resurrection. So you wiped out the whole bottom of my list. Yeah, you wiped out everything. I put Alien Resurrection at the bottom because I kind of knew you would wipe that one out definitely. So That means that if you discount Ash vs. Evil Dead, I only have 2 honorable mentions left. And out of the 2, one of them I feel is so close. I'm just going to say both of them. Out of the 2, one of them is so freaking close to Leprechaun in Space. It's like it's the same conversation we've already had, which is Critters 4.
Yeah,
Critters 4 is insane. It's absolutely entertaining. It doesn't make any sense. Continuity is out the freaking window. It's like everything
That's
you
what
say
I thought
about
you were talking about when you said Halloween 4, by the way. I thought you were talking
you thought it was talking Critters 4?
Yeah.
No. But I personally find Critters 4 really entertaining. My favorite Critters
I
movie
like it.
My favorite Critters movie by far is 2.
2
I'm
is great.
I'm a sane man. But 4 is so much like throwing out anything we care about and just going fucking insane, right?
You know why I slightly disagree with you? The reason why is because the very first movie deals with
space. It does.
Space.
No, you're right. It does.
There are bounty hunters throughout the entire.
It's less crazy than going to space.
It's plausible that they would go to space in Critters 4, as opposed to Leprechaun 4, where it's a movie about a fucking leprechaun in space. Like, it's insane. And the one that follows it up is Leprechaun in the Hood. Like, that's crazy. Right. Imagine if Critters, they did a movie in like fucking Cabrini Green after.
Well, I'll say this. Look, I realize that Critters has the space element, which makes it less insane, but the execution of this movie is insane. It's like where they go with
it. Since I've seen it.
Watch it. It's got like it's got, what is his freaking name? It's this doctor played by
the 2 bounty hunters are in it. Both of them are in all 4 movies too, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think
Charlie.
But,
no,
Charlie,
not Charlie.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just that's all my honorable mentions, because I just think it's a really fun watch and it's so nuts.
By the way, if Critters 4, sorry to cut you off, Critters 4 is in space. Critters 3 is in the city, which is not the same as
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah,
it's not in the hood, but it is in the city. Interesting inversion there. A little bit of an inversion.
Yeah,
slightly.
So I didn't say that as one of my replacements because you had already said Leprechaun in Space.
Okay.
Now this one, I think you have no love for. I don't have much love for this. But the reason I put it down is because this is one of those horror marathons that I did with my friends once all day.
Yeah, and it was great.
And I don't like this franchise very much. I find it interesting, but I'm not a big fan.
Oh, don't
but I will say this.
Don't you fucking dare.
I will say this.
Fuck.
It's not Scream, Jeff.
No, I don't think you're going to say Scream.
Okay. It's not the 2 that I found the most interesting and entertaining out of this whole franchise was 4 and 7. Those are the 2 I remember finding the most entertaining.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. I already know what you're going to say.
Hey, I
know what you're going to say. You're going to say Tremors 4, Back to Perfection.
Nope.
What?
You're not even in the. You are so far away from where I am. Like I said, you had Jeff. I think
7 movies.
I could be. Well, there's more than 7 movies. I think there's 12 now. 11.
Wait.
11.
Hold on a second. Wait. So, Witchboard?
No.
Hellraiser?
No.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
You're thinking. I knew that this is something that I don't associate with you whatsoever.
Give me more hints. I gotta get this.
I mean, if I say it started in the 2000s.
Saw.
Yep, that's it.
Huh.
It's Saw 4. Saw 4.
I never would have picked that. Never in a million years.
So when we did the marathon, and this is all my honorable mentions, mind you, I wouldn't have put this in my top 5, but I remember specifically the only 2 that kind of captured my interest in concept was 4 and 7. And that's why I wrote down Saw 4.
I don't even fucking remember. Like, all those movies bleed together for me.
They bleed together so bad.
Oh my God. That's the beginning of when they had that fucking guy who took over Mark or Chapman or whatever the fuck his name.
Yeah. Well, this was directed by Daryl Lynn Boozman.
Yes. He did 2, 3, 4. He did 2, 3, 4, and 5, maybe.
Yeah. Well, this is also when Now, okay, I don't like the Saw movies because I'm not into torture porn really.
I
But
don't really care for them either.
But Jeff, much like the Resident Evil franchise,
Yeah.
when I watch it all as a marathon, and for some reason these movies that I don't like very much and I can't say are very good have an excessive amount of unnecessary continuity, like slavishly bringing back characters and trying to
Yes, they
explain
do.
storylines.
They do.
I find
They
it
do.
so
You're right.
funny.
Right.
I'm like, I find it so hilarious that they even bothered with this shit to make all this continuity. Like Saw has so much continuity that is unnecessary. And 4 is when it really, really kicks in. It starts to be like, it starts to become almost like if you're like a Star Trek nerd for Saw, like, oh my God, he's connected to her. And oh my God, they brought this guy back. It just starts. And I remember watching it. I'm like, I don't like this very much, but wow, they really cared about this fucking continuity. And that's why I enjoyed 4 a lot. And then eventually 7. So
you care that they care.
I cared that they care, even though
what was the twist? What was the twist at the end?
I don't.
Because
I
know. It was that 3 and 4 happen at the exact same time.
Like same time. I think that would be it. Yeah.
One of that was the twist of one of them. I've seen every single Saw movie, and I could not fucking tell you what happens in half of them.
I wrote this one down from a memory of how I felt during a marathon. So I don't really like remember it. I just know I remember Saw 4
at the same time. 3 and 4 happen at the exact same time, and it's revealed at the end. The twist is that we're suddenly brought back to 3,
right?
And that's the shocker. That I remember. That's something I do remember, and that's probably actually the last thing I remember. Because if you put a gun to my head and said, "Tell me what happens in Saw 6 versus what happens in Saw 7," I remember that Carrie Ooze comes back, right, and he becomes the Saw guy for a while. And Amanda, she comes back at some point, and then they had fucking Chris Rock. He had his own Saw movie, and then they came back. Yeah, that series is nuts. And I got to be honest with you, man. Yeah, I'm not big on that. However, while I'm not a fan of torture porn, I do think Hostel 2 is a fucking incredible fucking movie.
Hostel 2 is incredible, not because it's despite the torture porn.
It's incredible because it builds as a sequel, as a horror sequel. It builds on the concept of the first one, and then kind of flips everything to show you things from like the other side, and it actually is really effective as a result. And so I've watched Hostel 2, and you watch characters kind of like switch places, and it's just interesting. Like I've watched Hostel 2 a few times, and it's always held up for me. I thought it was good.
No, I like Hostel 2.
Yeah.
As my last act of the things I wrote down.
Yeah.
I was toying with fucking with you. Yeah. Because I was like thinking, okay, there's got to be something that totally isn't, but almost is horror that I can find a 4, right? And I wrote this down, but it doesn't work. But I was like, what is a horror? What was born of a horror franchise has made
Bob,
more
you already know the
movies.
Rules. You know the rules, Bob.
I know, but okay. I'm just gonna say,
better not be Jurassic Park.
I think Jurassic Park could count, but I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say Jurassic World. I was actually thinking of saying the Scorpion King.
God damn you!
Because I was like,
damn you, Bob!
Because the Mummy is a horror franchise.
It is,
and even though you could easily argue that those movies are not horror at all.
Scorpion King is not the 4th Mummy movie, though.
No, but the 4th would be the 3rd one, and actually, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor would be the 4th one, right? Because that'd be the 4th release.
I would never have allowed that, Bob.
I know. I didn't say it. I didn't say
pigs would fly before I would allow that in my fucking.
I was trying to think of like a subversion of it.
Nice try, Bob. For my last pick,
if we took this out of the horror realm, I think every answer I would have had would have been action movies. Almost everything. It would have been all action. Yeah.
Perhaps in like another year or 2 from now, we'll come back and do 4s outside of the.
Mind you, the only reason I was trying to do the Mummy is because the Mummy was originally a horror character.
Right.
It's not because I think those are horror movies.
They're
not. They're absolutely not.
They're more adventure movies than.
Yeah, they are.
They have more in common with Indiana Jones than they do.
With horror. Yeah.
For my last pick, is a franchise. It had been, I don't even know how to say this. That like my watch history with this franchise is actually kind of insane. It might make you crack a little bit in hearing how the order. I did this on purpose because I'm fucking batshit insane. I actually watched part 4 first.
Okay.
In a series with 5 movies. I then watched part 5, and then I watched part 3, and I did that.
Give me some clues. Let me guess.
This is a movie that I never would have expected to like at all. If anything, it was basically like the centerpiece of my list, even though, Leprechaun 4 and Alien Resurrection, of course, those would have to be on there. But like, to me, like this is a gem that I like to pull out and recommend to people who just, I really want to like show the depth of my willingness to watch sequels that won't watch themselves, to quote Michael J. Epstein. Like I was so shocked.
You got to give me something else.
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I was so shocked, and I love the director. I love the director so much. I love all of his movies. And
is the director Brian Yunza?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Is it Silent Night, Deadly Night 4 Initiation?
Yes, okay. It is. Yes, it is.
I can't believe I got that. I can't believe I freaking got that.
Do you just tell me that you love that
I have never seen
4 first, and then watch 5, and then watch 3.
I have only ever seen the first movie. I have never seen the entire franchise.
And people like horror fans will be like, yeah, dude, part 2, part 1. No one ever talks about part 3. Nobody ever talks about part 4 or part 5, which has Mickey Rooney in it, by the way. And
I know that from just trivia, but
so part 5 is produced by Yuzna.
The remake comes out next month.
Okay,
right?
I didn't know that. But part 5 was produced by Yuzna for like $250,000. Part 4 the mother who plays the ghoul in the movie Mom. Did you ever see Mom from 1991 with Byron James as the fucking ghoul that turns the mother into a flesh-eating mother?
I don't think I have. I think
she's in a bunch of stuff.
I've seen Parents,
but she's Mom. You have to see Mom. Bob, you have to see Mom. This is like,
what year was it from?
It's from 1991. I'll send you, I think it's, I don't know. I had to get a fucking like burned DVD from the Warner Archive to get it. But I used to rent it in my horror section from my,
it actually looks really familiar.
Store. It's so fucking good. And like I said, Byron James is in it for like 5 seconds, and he's great in everything he's in. And it's really dark. It's a dark comedy.
It's probably on YouTube.
It was on YouTube. It absolutely is on YouTube.
It
was on YouTube for years because it was kind of out of print, and now it's like pseudo in print. But it's the mother is the head witch in Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. Clint Howard is in this movie.
The great Clint Howard.
Directed by Brian Yuzna, and that's like what really made me give Silent Deadly Night 4 a chance, because I will go anywhere that Brian Yuzna goes. Brian Yuzna goes here, I'm there. It does not fucking matter. He is the Roger Corman of the 80s and 90s for me. Like his
you've interviewed him, right?
I did interview, and it still has never come out as well. I interviewed John Penny, Brian Yuzna, and Michael Nunez, and fucking Steve Conti from the New York Dolls. And all 4 of those interviews are on Zoom and need to be properly prepared. And I've literally had them on a hard drive for years, and I've never released them. I have a 3-hour interview.
What if that hard drive breaks? Do you have double copies of it?
Are you kidding me? I got that shit in like fucking triplicate, motherfucker.
Okay, good.
It'll come out. But I talked about Silent Deadly Night 4 with Brian Yuzna as well. It is absolutely, it has no business being as good as it does. It also takes place in LA, where there's no fucking snow. And It's like a fucking Christmas snowy movie. Like they try to put a little snow here and there.
It's a companion piece to Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to talk about part 5 as well, The Toy Maker. because part 5 has a twist that you're just do not see coming. And, you know, you've seen the box art for part 5 and for part 4 for sure. Part 4 has like a weird fucking worm thing. Like, it's just so fucking weird, dude. And that's what I love.
I'm looking at it right now. The box art for these all look very familiar because I used to manage a video store. So
sure. So you've definitely
wait. There's a
animals.
There's a 2012 Silent Night movie.
Yeah, there was another remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night in 2012. That is correct. Yes,
with Malcolm McDowell.
Okay. Yes. Who also was in the fucking Faust superhero movie that Brian Usna directed in the year 2000 with Jeffrey Combs horribly miscast as a fucking police officer. One of Jeffrey Combs' worst roles in a Brian Usna film, shockingly enough. I love Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 4.
Jeff, just because of this now, I think we've talked about this before, but Christmas, I'm a Christmas guy, which I know seems hacky.
You're a Christmas mob. Yeah,
right. I love Christmas. I know I live in Baltimore, so Halloween is kind of king here, but I'm a Christmas guy. But you know what? This Christmas, this Christmas season, I'm gonna watch this series.
Oh, I'm so happy, Bob.
I will watch through because I really just need to see all of Silent Night, Deadly Night. So
you know what, Bob? I might do a fucking rewatch with you because it has been a fucking minute since I've seen part 4.
Okay.
It's been over 5 years. I've never seen part 1 and 2, so I might as well watch them all in order.
Wait,
actually,
you've never seen 1 and 2 at all? Like,
that's what I was trying to explain to you. That's why I was saying how unhinged my watching of this was. I watched part 4. I did that on purpose. I was like, I'm going to watch part 4 first. Then I'm going to watch part 5. Then I'm going to watch part 3. And that's what I did. And I never watched parts 1 and 2.
That's crazy.
So now I'm going to watch part 2 and then part 1 just to be extra unhinged about it and call it a day. That's
pretty amazing.
You are guaranteed a good fucking time with Silent Night, Deadly Night 4 and part 5. I would argue part 5, especially when you get to the end. And I got to the end of part 5 and I was like, I need a part 6, part 7, and part 8. And I want Brian Usna to be in charge of all of them. And I want them to all be fucking weird. God damn, the 90s were fucking magical. The straight to video 90s is like a special kind of weird.
Was the first movie released in theaters?
The first 2 movies, or maybe 3 movies, were released in theaters. And then Brian Usna directed Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 4. Then he did Return of the Living Dead Part 3. And then he produced Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5, The Toy Maker.
Okay.
And imagine, his body of work, it's insane. Brian Usna, first film, Bride of Reanimator. No, sorry, Society. Then Bride of Reanimator. Then Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 4. Then fucking, then Return of the Living Dead Part 3. I mean, what a body of work that is. I mean, really.
It really
is. That is a good time. Those 4 movies.
Necronomicon.
Oh yeah, I forgot Necronomicon too.
Maybe one of the movies I hate the most, not because it's bad, is The Dentist.
I love that, dude.
No, I love it, but I can't. It's
okay, The Dentist is literally. I told this to Brian to his face. The Dentist is Roger Corman doing Hitchcock, straight the fuck up. Right. That is a Hitchcock film done in the style of Roger Corman.
Yeah,
and Dentist Part 2 is great as well. I mean, that's really Brian Usna is like, you know what I love about him? He is just, and it's fucking kills me that he's so old now because I just wish he made like 25 more. He just kind of stopped. I think his last film was in 2005. He hasn't made a film since. Really sad. I think Rottweiler was his last movie. Brian Usna will just go places. He's like, let's get fucking weird. You know?
Totally. He also, the fact that he was the story writer on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's range right there.
Okay. Him and Stuart Gordon wrote Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with Gordon was going to direct and Disney, and they sold it to Disney, and Disney was like, no, we do not want you guys to do any of that stuff. And they had a falling out and they walked away from that project. But imagine that project originally was the fucking brainchild of Brian Usna and Stuart Gordon. That's fucking crazy.
I love that
Absolutely
movie
insane.
though. So I'm a big
I
Joe
love it.
Johnston fan. I think he's one of the best like meat and potatoes directors there is.
Oh,
But
it's fucking. He is. I mean, when
I
you
like
think about,
Jurassic Park 3. I'm saying it. No, just kidding.
I mean, fucking the Rocketeer. I mean,
Rocketeer.
Captain America. I mean, these
The
fucking,
Doggo. No, just kidding. Yeah.
I mean, I'd say Joe Johnston and fucking Joe Dante are like almost like they're like weird. They're weird variations of Steven Spielberg, right? Like
They're completely different, but they are offshoots of him in different ways. Yeah.
like as much as Joe Dante got his start with like Roger Corman, he also, you know what it is? It's almost like if Steven Spielberg is like Coca-Cola, like Joe Dante is like Diet Coke with lime. You know what I mean?
Or no, I would say he's what was the shit from the night?
And Joe Johnston is like
Joe Dante.
Joe Dante's vanilla.
Like,
I mean Coke vanilla.
I would say Joe Dante's Jolt Cola, and then Joe Dante is like Pepsi vanilla or something like that.
No, I hate that analogy, Bob.
No, because Joe Dante, he's a subversion of what Spielberg was trying to do. He's a subversion of Spielberg, whereas Joe Johnston's almost like a compliment to him.
Yeah, Joe Johnston's like a straightforward like lineage.
Like if you can't get Spielberg, you should get Joe.
And you want like Spielberg. If you want Spielberg ideas or Spielberg sensibility, if you want Spielberg sensibilities.
Here's the thing. If Joe Johnston directed Gremlins, which that would not work, he would have listened to Spielberg and he would have taken out the story about her father dying in the chimney.
Right. And Joe Dante would have been like, no, fuck that.
Joe Dante did say, no, fuck that. I'm not doing it.
But that's pretty much, that's
difference
how
there.
It would go.
That's the difference.
That's how it would go. That really is all of my honorable mentions got used up. I had Critters 4 on my list as well. That was an honorable mention. I also had Tremors 4 there as well.
Jesus.
I was thinking that, look,
Tremors
Michael
4
Gross
is a rough
Michael Gross is like the bootleg Ash Williams that, who they killed off in such a terrible way. I was so pissed about that.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted them to make Tremors movies forever. I never wanted the Tremors franchise to end. And I love that like Jamie Kennedy was like his son, like his long lost son / partner. And I was like, let this fucking duo just go on and make Tremors movies until like the fucking sun eats the earth. I would have come. You could have had like like some sort of like Terminator meets Tremors, like robots. They're dealing with robots. I don't know. I just would have been. I was there. I would have been there for all of it. For all of it, man. It's just a shame.
It's a shame. No, I enjoyed where it went, but they're like they're kind of hard sits. They remind me of what is it? The thing that made like Sharknado. What's the team? Asylum. They kind of feel like Asylum
coming, by the way. There's another one coming.
Oh no, Sharknado. Yeah.
I've never seen a
You could have said Sharknado 4.
I've never seen any of the Sharknado movies.
What is that called? What is Sharknado 4 called?
I think it's like, not another one.
The Fourth Awakens. That's great.
Doesn't he get like a lightsaber chainsaw at one point?
Yeah,
he uses. I know two things.
Tara Reid gets like a bio armor, like fucking Ripley.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
nuts.
I know two things happen in that franchise. There are tornadoes with sharks in them.
Yeah.
And that the only way to deal with a tornado full of sharks is with a chainsaw. Those are the two things I know culturally, but I've never sat down and watched all the Sharknado movies. And I went to go check to see if they were available streaming, and they are not. And it's very upsetting to me. I'm really getting sick of streaming channels now. I'm at the precipice of just being like, fuck these guys, because it's just like, it really has gotten out of hand. I was really happy to, abide by the system, and
I agree.
They are just really. Oh wow, Sharknado is actually on Prime Video now. Okay, good to know.
There you go. I was gonna say one of my favorite titles or subtitles is the Sharknado 6. It's about time.
The last Sharknado.
The last Sharknado. It's about time. It's a time travel movie.
Oh, is it? Is it about time?
It's about time, and it's
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's
love
Nightmare.
that.
I just love that name.
Did you have any other? Do you have any other
Honorable mentions?
honorable mentions? Because I've used all my. Oh my god, they are all on fucking Prime Video. Every single one of them.
That's amazing.
I am gonna watch them all. That's gonna be my next. Holy shit!
So, yeah, like I was trying to think like other. It just came down to stuff I didn't like very much when I came to other stuff like Amityville Horror 4 or whatever. I don't care. Hellraiser 4, no thank you. I love Nightmare on Elm Street 4, but I thought that was kind of obvious, so I didn't put it there. I figured you would also expect me to do that.
Yes, I thought maybe that
Yeah,
one of those would get there.
I actually like Paranormal Activity 4, but not enough to put it on a list. I did like it though. I did like out of the sequels of that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
The Purge. I don't even know what. I just looked up.
Oh yeah, I like the Purge series. I don't remember.
My favorite Purge is the Election Year, but I don't know which one that is. I think it's 3.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I don't know. It just got to a point where I was like, I don't really like these very, very much. I do like Scream 4, unlike you, but it wasn't enough to put it on the list.
You do like Scream 4? Oh yeah,
I like Scream 4, but it wasn't enough to put it on the list. Yeah, I don't know. There's just not. I mean, really, Witchcraft I've never seen. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I've never seen any of the Witchcraft movies. What a Ghoulies 4, man. I thought
Ghoulies 4 is pretty bad. Ghoulies 4 is pretty fucking bad.
I never finished it. I started watching it and I never got through it all.
It's directed by the guy, the Papadopoulos guy. What's his name?
Okay, but Ghoulies 3 is the fucking shit.
Ghoulies 3 is great.
I never would have put Return of the Living Dead Part 4 on there. That was just like an absolute non-starter for me.
Yeah, no, Ghoulies 4 is directed by Jim Wynorski, the guy that
I know Jim Wynorski.
Chopping Mall.
Chopping Mall, Return of Swamp Thing. He's made a million movies.
The Bear Wench Project, I think maybe. I can't remember. But if you ever want to watch a good watch is Papadopoulos, which is a documentary about his film career.
I feel like I probably am familiar with some of his movies.
Yeah, you are.
I'm sure I am.
But yeah, like I didn't really have much else than what I put. Like they're just like the selection just went really downhill.
Yeah, it really does.
It really just goes downhill. I mean, 4 is like I said, if we went past 4, it's like there's so little left.
No. If anything, actually, I feel like, and we can wait some time, but I feel like we have to do 2 at some point.
We have to do 2?
We have to do 2s.
Yeah, 2s is pretty easy.
2s is easy, but it'll be fun because there's so many 2s. Like that would actually be, and 1 doesn't make any sense to do at all. Maybe prequels, but I think 2. I think 2 is worth a shot. 2 is worthy. I would not try to do 5 or 6. Not worth it. Just not even.
You'd have to do stuff you don't even like.
Exactly.
You have to.
4 was pushing it. 3 was really fun though. 3 was great because there's so many.
3 is a sweet spot. 3
is a sweet spot. But I think 2 could there is promise of 2. So at some point we should reconvene to do 2s because
just do 10.
Oh my god. I mean,
no, not horror, but just in general 10.
In general 10s. Imagine
I would do that.
Okay, what about like 6 or 7 for just anything?
You have to go past horror though, because it's just
no. I'm saying outside of horror, but then you're doing like you're doing Fast and Furious and Star Wars, and I don't know.
You know what? We didn't even consider Final Destination.
No, I did. I don't
like. 4 is actually the one I don't like very much.
I feel like the first one's fucking great, and maybe even the second one, and then
Dude,
I watched the new one.
I love the new one.
It was all right. Hey, they did try to do something unique and interesting with the mythology of like, oh, we were never supposed to be born, so therefore death is coming for us. That was interesting. I thought that was interesting, but
they did.
I don't know. I mean, the Alien movies, the Predator movies come into. Oh my God, Predator 4. Well,
I
Predator 4
wasn't
is the
considering
Predator.
Predator horrors, but I don't like Predator.
Predator counts as horror. Predator would be
Predator is the only one I don't love because the
I
studio
don't really care for it either.
ruined the third act. They forced him to reshoot the entire third act, so it's like,
wait. So what was the original third act? I didn't know that.
I don't know, but that's what Shane Black doesn't like the movie because they forced that on him, the whole third act. That's the only one I don't love. That's the only one.
Like, here's the thing: like, you can movies like the Terminator, maybe not the Terminator, maybe that's a little pushing it. There's this weird area where like some stuff just blends, and I feel like Predator and Aliens,
Terminator, RoboCop, Predator, and Alien all count as horror as well as other stuff.
As they're like horror sci-fi. You know what I mean?
RoboCop didn't get to 4.
Like Terminator, Terminator is a slasher, but it's also a sci-fi. Like, it's a time travel movie. Like, it's actually quite amazing how many different.
I don't like
areas.
Terminator 4 though. That's the problem.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, in general, it just kind of it's multifaceted. But all of those movies, and Predator too. Predator is action as much as it is sci-fi, as much as it is horror. But I think when I think of Predator, I think of it first and foremost as a horror movie, and then I think of it as a sci-fi action movie.
The reason I discounted it was because we're doing Force.
Right, I know. I'm just saying. I just mean just in general, you know. So yeah, I don't know. But I think we did it. I think we did a pretty
we did good. This is a hard list to make.
It was a hard list. You know what? I am glad to horror though. It did make it interesting.
Harder. Yeah,
it did make it interesting. So that's all we got. Listen, all of Bob's links are down in his link tree down in the description of this video. If you really enjoy Bob and his podcasting, check out the Writer's Blockbuster podcast. As I said, really, I've learned a lot about story and script mechanics.
Can I pitch it for a sec?
Yeah, go ahead. Of course.
I'm the everyman on the podcast who's just seen too many movies.
Who's the half man?
I'm the half man. The guys that I do it with are both essentially script teachers. There's Jimmy. He's the script butcher. His entire living is helping people. He's consulting on people's scripts. And the other guy, Jamie Nash, literally just had his third Save the Cat book, official Save the Cat book, come out. Like, so if you don't even love what I'm saying on here, there's two guys with me that know their shit. Trust me.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. My biggest complaint about the show actually is that they have a rule about, it has to be like a blockbuster, and to me, I want to hear them. You bend it a little bit, but I want them to step outside of that. I want to see them tackle. There are movies that I watch. I'm like, I wonder how they would dissect this movie from a script perspective, and that's kind of like I don't like that it's in that box.
Those guys have to be interested in it for us to even do it.
Right, because there's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of prep, and I can appreciate that. I can.
It's if we were all AI bots, you could just type it in. And we could go
right.
But yeah, it has to be some sort of interest, or else
you could just feed a movie to ChatGPT and ask them to.
Sure, you could do that too. Yeah,
you could, but we're very weary.
At this point, there's so much Jeff Frumess on the internet. There could easily be almost nigh accurate Jeff Frumess AI.
I think there's enough video on YouTube to feed into an AI to make a model.
Yeah, I mean, like everything you've been speaking nonstop on the internet
for 5 years.
Yeah, like
5 years of speaking on the internet.
Not to mention your movies, your documentary.
That's true.
There's so much you.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Which is annoying when I check my Google search. Just to see what goes to the top. And yes, that's right. I sometimes Google myself, but not out of self-absorbed ego in that sense, but more just to see what populates, because I do so much stuff on the internet, and it's interesting to see what's at the top versus what's at the bottom. But if you go back a few pages, it's just all fucking podcast, and that kind of annoys me. But that's just, I don't know. It is what
you
it
want
is.
it to be films.
I don't know. I don't. I guess it
You
doesn't
can
really
never
fucking
make
matter.
as many films as you can make podcasts.
Never, never. No, I'm just trying to get
No.
this third fucking movie done. It's
Right.
oh my god, fucking making movies, man. I'm the next thing I'm going to be doing is a documentary, and I'm very happy because all of the footage is essentially shot and it's sitting on a hard drive, ready for me to fucking edit it. I don't need any fucking motherfuckers to be like making pretend in front of me. I just need my computer, my footage, and my brain to make
Right.
this next movie. And I'm so happy about like that makes me very fucking happy. So
Have you announced what that is, or is it private?
yeah, I talked about it a lot. It's the Misfits documentary. I'm
Okay.
doing another attempt to finally just get it the fuck out there. Like just it's time. It's been long overdue. I last time I tried was 2021. My hard drive crashed with the project on it. I didn't have a backup file, and I just did not feel like sitting through. I had already watched hours of interviews, and I just couldn't do it again to pull the selects that I needed. It just was such a mind-numbing job to do it the first time, like to do it again so soon. So now it's been about 4 years. I'm ready to tackle that again, but I have to finish my shadow, and I have to finish the dialogue mix on Gouge Away, and I have to put all 3 of my movies out on Blu-ray. And while I'm doing all that, I will fucking start working on this film. But it'll be a while until I try, I think, and do something like narrative with other actors, just because it's so fucking. It is difficult, man. It is difficult.
It's difficult in difficult times.
It's difficult in difficult times. That's why I want a project that I can just work on.
Listen how prolific you are.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Thank you. Yes.
It takes me. I'm still working on like a fucking short film.
He's still working on a movie where a guy is fucking his face with a fucking
right. I haven't
cock.
touched that in a couple months because shit happened. Like life comes around.
But it's great. It's literally the best thing
I'll finish
you've ever
it.
made. It's like my favorite thing that you've ever done.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. It's like the best. I like it so much that I've periodically will badger Bob, like, Bob, let me watch it again because I just want to see the. Is that link still live? That other one that you sent me, the unlisted.
It probably
one?
Should be, yeah, because it's private. So yeah.
Right, good. Yeah, I'm gonna revisit that at some point. I'm gonna check that out. Bob, I want to thank you so much. Thank you for, coming back. It was just this was like a great visit. Really appreciated it.
No, this is the podcast that I've guested on the most, without question.
That's crazy.
Easily.
Honored to have you back. So yeah, that's where the show ends. Bob, hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna say peace, hair grease, and we'll see you next time, kids.